Y'all ready to get this thing started this morning?
It's one I'm
Time to rock, please, for you. This class is 6 hours long. I will stop at 11 o'clock wherever I am. We'll take lunch from 11 to 12. Okay, that we can get in, so keep you back 42 crowded out here. All right. We get done about 2:30 or so on normal timing. If you have questions in the class, ask questions. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions on the training. Okay. It's an interactive class. You know what interactive means? As I talk, I ask questions, you answer my questions. So if you get too quiet on me, I'll start pointing saying I need an answer. This class is a qualification class. You know what qualifications are?
Yep.
Okay, I'm signing off on you out of my company, my insurance, my license today. So I need to know your mindset, what you think about things, how you think about things out here today. That's a big part of the training today. After the classroom part, we'll grab my trailer out behind this Connex out here, do live hands-on checks. When you see open cabinet doors up, where the PPE, use a meter, do like that tag, a few things like that. That takes about 15 minutes average per person. When you get in the trailer, one person at a time, we'll get through what you need to do. Don't go too slow. If you have questions, let us know. Okay? We'll get you out of here as quickly as we can today. Before you leave, get with me and get your card and sticker. Okay? I'm going to do your card and sticker to you here. I will not deliver it to you next week. I'm leaving the country the 28th. I'll be gone for 35 days. So I'm not going to deliver it to you. Be sure you get it before you leave. After the transfer back to the company you work for, documentation on the training. There'll be a certificate there with it. There'll be several forms for the hands-on part and the classroom part. You have a card like you have in the middle here, and you get a hard hat, stick to your hard hat. If you change companies, and I'm having a lot of that lately, okay? A lot of that. If you change employers, and they want you to go through this training, and you've already been through my training, contact me. I've got to hear it from you. I can send you documentation to the new company. I can't change the company name. It'll be on from this company you work for today. It's a federal document. Once it's set up there, I can't change that part of it. I did the training for 152 companies across the country. They all honor the training. I've had no one in 10 years plus turn it down. Okay? So it should be good. You should have to do it again for about 3 years or so. Alright? If that comes up, just let me know. I have to have a request from you, somehow from you personally, to send it to that company. Okay? I think I got about 5 of those last week. A lot of people changing companies out here. Well, I've got on the screen of my current licenses. Okay. I don't rescan these every time I do training. However, they're all right here. If you want to see the current license, you're welcome to see the current license. Okay? If I came to your house to do work for you, what would you ask? What would you want to know?
Where's your license? Who are you working for?
Here's my license. Here.
Are you insured?
Here's my license.
Dang, no.
Okay? So they're all current. What else? You have to have insurance.
Sure.
To have this contract license in Texas right here, I've got to have a $300,000 per occurrence general liability policy. That's all required by the state of Texas. Okay? I can get that for $250 a year. Guess what I carry?
$10 million.
Actually, $5 million on my training. And the consulting I do on my training. I carry $1 million on my truck and trailer over here. Was back here today. After the training, I'll send back to EMC, your company, proof of the training. There'll be at least one certificate in the training showing you've been through this training. I'll also document what we're doing in the classroom here and what we're doing in the field as far as the trailer work goes. I'll give you a card like this right here on the spot when you've gone through the trailer. You get a hard hat sticker also. Don't leave till you get them. I'm not a delivery person. I don't go deliver them to your company. It means you got to come to me to get them. Okay? So don't leave till you get them. These are my current licenses. I don't scan them every time I do training. They renew at different times. They're all right here if you want to see one of them. They're all current. Okay. If I came to your house to do work for you, what would you ask? What would you want to know?
Electrical license.
Here they are. Here they are right here. Is that enough?
What you qualified to do.
So how are you going to find that out? What do you think?
Go to state.
You gonna just ask me? Hell yeah, I'm qualified. Sir? I haven't been known to do that before, based on the situation and circumstances. I've tried to avoid that, but I've been in a few situations where that was required. One time, in order to stay alive, was required. So, besides how much it's going to cost, what's it going to take, how long it's going to take, what do you want to know?
How long have you been doing it?
So, what are you looking for?
Looking for references.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Jose fired me last week from job. Do you think I'll give you Jose for a reference? You think you'll hear anything about him?
No, but I know that if I call 3 of your references and they all 3 give you glowing reports, that you'll have.
Of course. So what are the references then? Any references that the person gives you, you're picking and choosing from. Okay?
How did you started the trade?
Sir?
How did you start the trade?
I started my trade as a lineman, basically, an apprentice lineman. My family had a power line company when I was a kid, a 10-man power line crew. I started 14 years old working with them. Okay? I became an inside wireman later on. Went to the military as an electrician. Became an inside lineman wireman later on. Okay? But that doesn't help you none, does it? I'm working in your house, aren't I?
Yeah.
So what kind of experience are you looking for?
120.
How about house wiring? Okay? That's the kicker. It's all specific, isn't it? It's not all the same animal, is it? Okay? This class, NFPA 70, which class is based on, is all about qualifications. Qualifications to do what you're supposed to do in the field out here. It is not a one-size-fits-all deal. I'm not going to qualify to climb poles today, am I? It's not part of it. Although for linemen it does. Okay? It's all depends on what you do in the field. Okay? I'm going to give you an easy job. Think about how critical this job is. Your wife moved your headboard in your bedroom, your bed to a different wall. The headboard's on a different wall than it was. Your house was built in the early 80s. For some reason, the contractor didn't put a receptacle on the wall where your headboard is. You're going to call me in to add a quad receptacle by your headboard. So you plug your phone, your clock, things into your receptacle. Okay, on your nightstand. How critical a job is that? How important a job is that? It's simple, isn't it? How hard is to add a receptacle? Maybe physically hard based on how small the area is to get into it, how you got to get around to it, but there's more than one way to get there. Okay, I can put a receptacle anywhere I want to put one, even on a piece of glass anymore. Okay, there's ways to do it. Okay. What if I don't tighten the black wire down tight enough? What's going to happen? Yeah, maybe not. It might blow up. It might arc and spark for a while. It may do nothing at all for a while.
It's going to sit there and burn until you ever sleep on that.
Well, that's part of the problem. It can catch a house on fire, can't it? When? Would it be right away?
Could be.
I can almost guarantee you every time my warranty, my year or 2 year warranty based on what I'm doing, will be gone and over with. I'll be gone somewhere else when the house burns down. Based on use, how many times you plug something in and out of it, what the draw of the load is, how warm the wire gets, how much it moves around, how much that wire expands and contracts. Based on a lot of variables, it may happen in a few days, it may happen in a few years. You can't predict when, though, can you? However, if I leave it loose long enough, something's going to happen sooner or later, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most house fires occur between midnight and 5 o'clock in the morning. Half of those injure or kill somebody. A third of the people injured or killed are children. Do you think I want to kill your child? Anybody know the torque rating for that screw?
35 pounds.
Actually 36 on most of them, but you're right at it. I'm amazed. Very few people know. In fact, my inspector didn't know what it was.
36 pounds?
36 inch-pounds. Yeah. I had an inspector. I took a job over 2 years ago here for a guy that ran away on people. And they got me and a friend of mine to take the job over and finish it for him because the guy just left with the money. My inspector came in. I asked him, I said, I got one question for you before you do any inspection of my work. What's the torque rating on that screw on that receptacle? He said, what you talking about? I said, there's the door. I said, I will not talk to you. Send someone else down here. Okay. If you don't know that, are you qualified to inspect my work?
No.
No, you're not. That's why I ran him out the door. In fact, we had several discussions about me running the inspector off. Okay. Qualifications mean not only can you do the job, you know it's required to do the job correctly. What if I tighten it too much? What if I tighten it real tight?
It's the other half of those house fires.
Okay.
So that's the other half of those house fires.
Yep. Usually
Break
it is.
down on them, it creases the wire, and then the wire
Yep.
ends up breaking apart as it.
You know why that happens? As current goes through the wire, it heats the wire up, metal heating up, expands. When it cools down, it contracts. I've got it tightened real tight here to expand and contract. That's no different than doing that with that piece of wire. Over time, expansion and contraction here on load will cause it to break. Can't predict when, though, can you? That's a small job, isn't it? Critical is knowing that information and doing it. Qualification means you know how to do it, you know what's required to do it, and the other part of that is you do it that way. That's part of all of this. If I come to your home to do that job, you expect me to do it, number one, within the time frame I give you, for the price I give you, and do it correctly, don't you? You know what you expect? Okay, I got a question for you. Every company you go to work for, you sign a bunch of safety rules, don't you?
Yeah.
Did you read them all?
Yes.
Sure did.
No.
Every one of them.
Every one of them? After my class or before my class?
Mm-hmm.
After I went through class with you before?
Or,
Hardly anybody reads them all. Most people will do what I call skip reading. They'll read one here, one here, one there, one somewhere else. They say same old, sign the form, and go to work, right? First thing about that is if you don't read the rules, how do you know what they are? Other part of that is when you sign that form, and all of you sign the form, correct? Otherwise you don't go to work that day. Since you signed the form, what does your signature say on that form?
you agreed all of it.
It says, well, number one, you read them all.
You understand everything.
Number two, it'll tell you if you have any question about it, ask questions, right? Nobody ever asks any questions. So your signature says you read them all, each and every one of them. You understood each and every one of them. You can understand the language they were written in, each and every one of them. What else?
You agreed to fill out.
You agreed to follow each and every one of them, correct? How often?
Every time.
Is it only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 5 o'clock? Were they qualified? I remember any of them being qualified, do you? So how often are you supposed to follow all those rules? How often?
Every day.
All the time, on the job, every day, right? So why don't we? When I ran crews in the field, I used to hire what I call a sacrificial lamb. You know what that is? What's a sacrificial lamb? Hey,
Yeah, you cut it through.
no fair pointing at people. We got to have some kind of decorum in the classroom, okay? If you want to talk bad about him, tell me to go out the door, okay?
Somebody,
What's a sacrificial lamb?
somebody you're willing to get rid of in front of everybody.
Not only that, someone I intended to fire.
Yeah.
Okay? Guess how I picked my sacrificial lamb? When I contacted sent people to me on a job site when I was running a job with a foreman, number one, I have my own contract with the company, which means for any kind of safety violation of any kind, I'm not required to give you a warning. None. 0 warnings. Most are going to say 3 warnings, 3 written notices before I can fire you, right? That's kind of the unwritten rule everywhere. I took that away. On safety issues of any kind, 0 warning. I could fire you on the spot for it. Okay? Guess how I picked my sacrificial lamb? I interviewed everyone that came on my job site. I interviewed all of them before I hired them. I'd ask him questions about safety rules and things. Small things. I judged by his attitude, his facial expressions, what his thoughts were on safety rules and things. That's how I picked him. I already knew he had a bad attitude about it, didn't I? Guess what I do with him? About the first week, I paid him a week. Well, I fired him Wednesday or Thursday. I paid him the week. It's only fair. You know, I'm using him for an example here. I catch him going through a door, for instance, that says hearing protection required. Right by the door is a bunch of hearing plugs, little packets in a box. It's clearly written on the door, no entry without hearing protection. I catch him going through that door. It's a small thing, isn't it? Most people say, hey, by the way, put your earplugs in. Okay? I catch him going through the door one time without them. I call him back. I asked him in front of the crew, I said, can you read the sign on the door? Yes, I can. What does the sign say? No entry without hearing protection. I said, what did you just do? Walk through the door without hearing protection. Are the earplugs within reach? Right here by the door, a bunch of earplugs in boxes. Okay. Are you capable of opening the earplugs up? Yes. Can you put the earplugs in your ear? Do you understand how to do that? Can you do that? Yes, I can. Why didn't you? I forgot. You're fired. What did I tell my crew? What did I tell them?
Safety first.
I set the tone right there, didn't I? That told them real quick, zero tolerance on it. I've been in crews for 25 years in the field. I never got anybody hurt on a job site. Not one time. Not a smashed finger, not a broken finger, no problems at all. You know how I accomplished that? With that right there. I've got the entire crew as my safety person now, don't I? They're watching each other. Say, man, go to the ball seat, got your safety glasses on. Put your earplugs in before you got the door. Don't let him see you. You're gone. You know, and I did it. I enforced that rule. Okay. I had one guy smash his hand in the gate going out the yard. How you do that, how you close a gate on your own hand, I have no clue. But he did. He managed to do that somehow. Didn't move that hand to close the gate on it. Okay. I had a guy twist an ankle on his own truck. Got on the running board, and where your foot goes between the body of the truck and the running board sometimes. He slipped and fell backwards, twisted his own ankle on his own vehicle in the parking lot. Only two problems I've ever had on a job site. Okay. I can't prevent him doing that either, can I? Okay. There are some things out of my control. But the things in my control, I took control of. Okay. A lot of guys will tell you I'm a prick on a job. I am a prick on a job. I expect you to do what you tell me you're going to do. Okay. If I can't trust a guy to protect his own life, his own eyes, his own hands, can I trust him to do the work? No, I can't, can I? It's impossible to do. I can't watch everyone at all times either, can I? If I can't trust you out of my sight to do what you're supposed to do, the way you're supposed to do it on my job, you won't be there. I don't hire people like that. People I hired and kept, I could trust. I knew what they would do and what they wouldn't do. Also, the first time you lied to me, you're gone. And I make that a no rehire. You know, if you didn't do something, you tell me you didn't do it. If you screwed it up, tell me. People make mistakes, don't they? I don't hold those against people. People make errors. I don't hold that against you. If you lie to me and tell me you did something you didn't do or didn't do what you're supposed to do, that I hold against you forever. Okay. Qualifications means you know how to do it, you can do it, and you do it every time. Not once in a while when you feel like it. What did these licenses say about me to you? At one time I had 17 around the country. I've cut it back to these. I don't need the rest of them. I don't work on the rest of them anymore. If I need them, I can get them back in 30 days with what they call reciprocals. Okay. So what did they tell you about me? Because they don't qualify me. That is not something that they do. Why carry them?
Your experience,
Not really.
No.
you have to do that in order to get it, really.
I've got a lot of experience. I've got 47 years in the field total. You know, I become an old man and didn't even realize it until one day I looked in the mirror and said, damn, you're getting old. You know? Seriously. You know, I don't feel that old up here, but I am that old. The experience is experience. I know people work 20 years and only ran conduit. That's all they've ever done. Not anything else. They're real good with conduit hands. Very good at it. That's all they've ever done. So what do they tell you about me?
You got a card.
Sir?
That you got a card.
That's about it, isn't it? In my case, I can pass a test. All of them are by exam, one kind or another. Okay. Think about your driver's license for a minute. Does your driver's license qualify you to drive the vehicle down the highway?
No.
Or does it authorize you?
Authorized.
These are the same thing. They authorize me by the state they're issued under to do work in the category of that license within that state. They don't prove I know what I'm doing, though, do they? They don't prove I can run conduit, pull wire, hook things up, or anything to do it. So what good did they do me?
No.
I'm required to have one state. Anytime I'm doing any kind of electrical work of any kind, I'm required to have one state. So at least I'm following the rules, right? Okay. They also say to be a contractor, my contractor license, white license in the top left corner. To be a contractor, I got to have a $300,000 per occurrence general liability insurance policy. Guess what I carry? I get that policy for $250 a year. That's all it costs. Guess what I carry? I've got $1 million in that truck and trailer sitting over there, going down the highway. I've got $1 million workman's comp on me on this property. You think I carry on my business? $5 million. Why carry all that insurance and pay $8,700 a year for it when I can get out with $250 a year? Why do that?
Some shit goes down, you got early retirement.
Sir? Do what? Seriously, though, why carry all of it?
Cover your ass.
If it don't fall back on you, but
Cover your ass.
Well, actually, it's for me and you. I'm covering me and you very well, aren't I?
you can get sued and you got enough.
Yep. Let me tell you something I learned a long time ago. Let's say you get injured on my job, okay, or something I'm doing. You can sue me, but you can only get so much. The coverage I've got will cover you well into anything else usually, okay? Once I gave you what's required by law, you can sue me all you want. You can't get blood out of a turnip, can you? Or you get this piece of paper saying I owe you some money. That doesn't do you any good, does it? Particularly if you're injured, it doesn't help you none either, does it? Okay. Yep. I'm covering me and the other person also by carrying them much insurance. Okay. That should tell you I'm not going to the minimum level either, am I? If you go to the minimum, what do you get out of it? The minimum. And you may not be covered. Okay. Think about your PPE for a minute. How many of y'all don't wear that hard hat and shield and the sock when you need to wear it? Why not? Why not? Sorry? You get comfortable with it. Hard to see through the shield sometimes. Go out in the sun. You can start reading things, seeing labels on things in the cabinets out here. Takes time to get out, make sure it's ready to go. If your sock gets dirty, forget to wash it last week when you should have washed it. All kinds of excuses and reasons, right? My job as an electrician has been to solve a problem. That's what I'm always doing. It's a puzzle, isn't it? My job is to solve the problem. Do they tell you exactly how to do it? They tell you to figure out, don't they? Guess what? Find a way to do it the way you're supposed to do it. Stop making excuses for stuff. Your signature on that form I talked about earlier is your word, in case you don't know that. You gave them your word. You do it that way, didn't you? Are you taking the paycheck? You taking the money for it? How about you do what you agreed to do? You might just live to be 65 or 70 years old like I'm getting to point in. If you don't do that, you may not make it very long. When do accidents happen? When do they occur?
You get comfortable.
Is it a time when you planned it? So usually when you're not wearing the gear, not suited up appropriately is when it's going to happen, isn't it? What's the outcome going to be? Just a few thoughts for you. I've had 3 friends killed here in a year and a half. Electrically, one way or the other. People that knew better to do what they did, 2 of them. Okay. One guy was outside his control. Somebody else did something he wasn't aware of. But other than that, 2 of them should have known what not to do and what to do. Okay. This class is based on NFPA 70E. What's happening here? This standard change in 2018, it takes effect in October this year, nationwide. Part of the stuff in the book talks about maintenance. This is what I call the book world. Okay, do I live and work here?
Yes.
Do you live and work in the book world here? I live and work in the real world, don't you? They mention maintenance as one of 6 things here, being normal equipment operation. If maintenance is done correctly and properly. by the manufacturer and by 70B. What's maintenance like in the oil field? What's maintenance like out here? So if you don't do maintenance on the equipment, what can happen? What's going to happen? Will the switch always break where you can't turn it on or off? What's going to happen? What can you predict it? Can you predict when? What you can say is if maintenance isn't being done, and we know it's not being done by and large, sooner or later that equipment's going to fail, isn't it? Can't predict when or how, huh? So how should you approach the equipment out here? And this includes commercial buildings, where it may be. If it's not maintained, it doesn't matter. Okay. I look at it like there's a shotgun inside the cabinet pointed at me. If I screw up, it's going to go boom, blow my head off. It can be that serious. Okay. If maintenance isn't being done, you need to approach it very cautiously. Okay. I'll talk about those 6 items here at the end of the class, what's required for all those. Here's talk about the standard here. They base your clothing in the field, your HOC t-shirt and jeans normally out here, on one of those 6 items that are being done that's not being done. So is your shirt going to be enough all the time? Sometimes it won't be. Do you know what it's supposed to do for you? What's that shirt supposed to do for you in the field?
Help with flashback.
Sir?
Help with flashback.
How?
It doesn't catch on fire immediately.
It's designed to be flame retardant, which means if it should ignite, it should extinguish pretty quickly. Hopefully. Okay. What else you get out of wearing it?
It's
What do you
supposed
think?
to protect you from the flash.
To what degree?
Whatever degree it's rated for, as long as you haven't been messing with it.
Okay. Well, we're talking about messing with it a little bit as far as taking care of this stuff. If I have a flash event, say the flash boundary is 4 feet out here past the cabinet, and I'm standing at that 4-foot boundary right here, dressed like this, what can the outcome be? Do you know?
Your neck, your face, your hands.
The what?
I said you're gonna wherever you're not covered with your shirt is where
Dress
you're
like
gonna get hit.
Huh?
That shirt's gonna melt.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, is it?
No.
Okay. What else? That 4-foot boundary, what does that boundary tell me? How do they determine where the boundary's at? Why is it 4 feet instead of 5 feet, 6 feet, 20 feet, or 30 feet? I've got one at Conoco out here, new buildings, 32.5 feet out from the cabinet. It's 5 spaces into the parking lot. I should measure it out.
Blast radius?
Sir?
Blast radius?
Yeah. That boundary is determined by the point where if you're not protected against the event, you're likely to get a second-degree burn. That's how that boundary is set. Okay, that's 1.2 calories. That's how they come up with it digitally, mathematically. That's where you can get a second-degree burn if you're not protected against a hazard. So what's your shirt supposed to do for you in the event? They consider that burn survivable. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on infection and things like that, but it's considered survivable. Your shirt. It's designed to protect your torso right here, your vital organs in your torso, to a second-degree burn within the rating of the shirt. Worn properly. So how do you wear it in the field?
Buttoned up.
What do y'all think? I'm only hearing one person answer the question. She's carrying the entire class right now.
Button up and off, sleeves down.
Buttoned all the way up to where? All the way to the neck, right? Wear your shirt buttoned all the way to the neck. If it won't because your neck's a little fatter than the shirt collar is, that doesn't mean you can leave the collar unbuttoned. That means you get a shirt with a larger collar on it. They do have those. Same body, larger collars. Okay? You can't use a collar extender. It leaves a gap right there, doesn't it? Those aren't allowed. Got to button it all the way up. Button the sleeves all the way down, correct? And tuck it in. They tell you why? Why is it important to do all that?
Maximum coverage.
Sorry?
Maximum coverage.
Okay, in any kind of fire situation, generally speaking, the more skin you're covered up, the better off you're going to be. Unless it's synthetics, which won't help you a whole lot. Okay? Have you heard the term chimney? Channeling. I met a guy in Ohio a while back, talked to him on the phone, had an arc flash event in the cabinet, had his sleeves rolled up like this right here, went up the sleeve, got first degree burns on his arm, second and third degree burns on his face. He came out the collar and burning right here. Had a hard hat and shield on, the shield caught the fire right here. Just because he didn't have the collar buttoned up. When I talked to him, I asked him, I said, if you could go back 2 minutes before the event, knowing the event's going to occur in 2 minutes, what would you do different? That's what he told me. Button the damn sleeves down. Wrong answer. How about turn and go the other direction? Okay. How about avoid it completely? Bad thought process, huh? It's not about taking the hazard and beating it. How about don't let it happen? Don't be involved in it. Okay. I get a lot of answers like that from people. 70E covers only 3 areas: safety-related work practices, maintenance requirements, and special equipment. Only 3 areas standard covers. It only applies to people doing the work in the workplace. It's the only place all these rules apply. Not many of them is there. Not a very thick book. Should be easy to follow, shouldn't it? Guess what? Almost nobody does. I'm going to talk about hazards this morning with you a little bit. I'm going to show you several videos and pictures of hazards here. A couple where a guy gets burned alive so you can see what actually goes on sometimes out here. We'll talk about how to do lockout tag out in detail. We'll go through that in the trailer, also hands-on with it. How to handle safe work practice procedures, how to recognize safe procedures out here in the field, how to employ those. Also talk about things like JSAs and identifying the hazards. Do you do a JSA?
Yes.
How good a one do you do? How good?
I think I do it pretty good.
If someone who's not an electrician comes up on your job site, you're still required to read your JSA and sign it, correct? Could they understand reading your JSA what's going on with the hazards on where they are? Could they understand it from reading the JSA?
Fill it out properly.
If they cannot, you've not done it correctly. Okay. You ever read it to them? They ever ask any questions? Once in a while I get them. Usually what they want to do is sign that JSA, right? You ever sign somebody else's JSA? You read it. You ask questions of them. What does your signature on their JSA say? Number one, you read it completely, or have had it read to you and understand what's going on. Number two, you understand where all the hazards are, what they are. You understand what the thought process is, what the work process is going on here. You had nothing else you saw that's missing off the JSA, okay, and you agree completely with what's going on. So, if something happens on that job that day, someone gets injured or hurt, where's it going to go? Your JSA. Where's it going to go? Back to your company originally for their investigation. Then from there, where do you think it's going to go? In the court somewhere. Attorney's going to sue. You know why they're going to sue? He gets paid either way. He makes money either way. If he wins, more money. If he loses, a little bit less money. He's paid either way. Okay? At the very least, every person signed the JSA will do what they call a deposition. At the very least. You know why they do a deposition? There's only one reason for a deposition in court. To catch you on something later on. The only reason for one. If your story changes 8 months, 10, 2 years from now, they can get you and put pressure on you. It's called perjury. Okay? They do that at the very least. Let's say I got a 40-volt shock hazard, common in the field, right? How do you put that on your JSA? What do you do for it? How do you address it? How do you address it?
You have since other the options if you could write it down.
Okay, you have a check off for shock hazards. Does it have a voltage level by it also? Is there a place to write in the voltage level?
There is.
Okay, if not, you need to put that in the narrative.
They have a hot work permit.
Well, hot work permit is going to specify a lot of things. Okay, on that we have to tell the voltage level what the task is and all that. That's a lot more detailed than JSA for that task. Okay. So, 40-volt shock hazard. What's your PP? How do you handle it? What are you doing? Are you shutting it down? You locking it out, tagging out? You securing the energy source? Are you wearing gloves? What are you doing for it? How are you handling that hazard?
Treat it as every other lockout.
Ma'am?
You treat it like every other lockout, tag out, use your PPE.
But do you specify all that?
Yes.
What I see on GSAs when I ask for GSAs is shock hazard, proper PPE. Maybe shock hazard, motion level, proper correct PPE. Once in a while, LOTO for lockout tag out. But usually, those 4 things only on a GSA. Very seldom detailed. Okay. It's just nowhere to put the motion level, the glove rating, things like that. You put that in the narrative. It's all supposed to be part of the narrative on the JSA. What if it changes in the process? What if I'm doing the process, doing the task and job, and something comes up later on that's more of a hazard? What should you do?
Okay.
That means stop everybody again, right? Huddle back up, go back to the JSA. When you go through someone's JSA, you need to be using your eyes and your thoughts also on hazards. The more eyes on the hazard, the better off it is, isn't it? The more people looking at what's going on, the better off it's going to be also. Okay. I saw a guy 4 days ago, well, 6 days ago now, counting the weekend. Downhole pump tech in a junction box in the oil field out here, right off the highway. Crane man come up in a company truck, slid up to a stop. You see the smoke cloud where he slides off. You see in a hurry. Get out of the truck. Guy's wearing a 40 calorie suit, taking a high voltage reading in a junction box, and taps the guy on the shoulder. I actually saw him do all that. When I saw him get out of the truck and tap on the shoulder, I stopped. I'm going to watch for a little while. So I get my binoculars out and I'm watching what's going on. Okay. In 5 seconds, guess what's going on? I've got the guy at the junction box turning around doing that number. Got the guy in the company truck doing that number. They're like this. What's happening? Why are they doing that at each other? Sir? I got an argument, huh? It's clear there's an argument going on, right? How should the technician, the guy doing the work, got tapped on the shoulder, how should he handle that?
I turned around.
Sir?
Close everything up, shut
Yeah.
everything down.
Okay.
Tell them to get up.
You got yellow 2-foot hot stick in his hand and an HDE meter, taking a high voltage reading above 1,000, obviously above 1,000 volt. From contact, what do I do?
One at a time.
One at a time. Stop what you're doing. Retract your contact points, your probes, one at a time. What's next?
Close it up. Just probably.
And lash it down. Why close the doors?
So everybody, so woman don't want nothing and nobody be able to, stick or get in there.
Yes, sir. You can't get harmed in there, can he? Okay. With the doors open, all my boundaries apply. Mark flash boundary, limited approach boundary, restricted boundaries. With the doors open, all those boundaries are in place. With him standing right here, he's not in with those boundaries. Can he be there legally? No. He should know that, but the idiot didn't. He's there. Okay. I closed the doors to protect him. That's state law in all 50 states. I must protect everyone. And has what I'm working with, the same thing what I'm working on. Since he can't be there, I stop what I'm doing, I close and latch the doors down. Can he get hurt electrically now? Can he fall into my cabinet and get hurt? Can he get animated and touch something accidentally and get hurt and killed? He can still fall down. He can still twist his ankle, still break his finger or something like that. However, with what I'm working on, can he get hurt with any of that? No, I've eliminated that, haven't I? Okay. Now, what should I do? Slapping him around is not a good idea. I saw that. What should the guy do now?
Lockout tag out.
Sir? What do you think?
I said lockout tag out.
Okay, I don't have to lock it out and tag it out right now. It's not really required.
Get out of
In
the
order to
area.
lock that tag out, I got to get back in the cabinet, which makes it dangerous for the guy that's standing there.
Explain to him what I'm doing.
Okay. What do you think he wants to know? Why do you think he's in such a hurry? I'm seeing him sliding his brakes. See smoke fly as he stopped. He's in a hurry, obviously, right? Why do you think he's in such a hurry? What does he want to know?
Maybe he's warning about something.
He
I
wasn't.
got well down.
He wasn't?
He wasn't. I actually talked to the guy later on. He wasn't.
Probably got well down.
Well, what's the oil field motto? We're working the oil field out here, right? What's the oil field motto?
Get it done.
In case you don't know this, it's called get her done. That's the oil field motto, is it not? Okay. So what do you think that company man wants to know?
When are you going to be done?
He wants a status report. When will you be done? When will it be up and operating, right? I do train for companies also as well as contractors. I'll tell the company man, the same scenario, leave the guy alone. Toot your horn, bump your horn at him later on, he'll stop what he's doing and come answer your question. Do not go tap him on the shoulder. It's not a safe thing to do for either one of you. Okay? But we got idiots out here that do it anyway. Okay? How long is it going to take you to answer that guy's question?
2 minutes, 5 minutes.
I guarantee that's what he wants to know. He's got 1,000 things on his plate that morning. I've talked to a lot of them over the years out here. He's got 1,000 things to do. He ain't going to get them all done. He already knows he can't get them all done today. What do you think his mental thought process is like right now? You think he's in a hurry? How long do you think he wants to be there with that guy asking that question? Not very long. What do you want him to do if you're on the job doing that and he's bothering you? What do you want him to do? Go away, right? How do you make him go away?
Answer his question.
Answer his question. Guess what he's going to do? Get back in his truck and drive away, right? Leave you alone? That's where I want him. I want him somewhere else, don't I? How long does it take you to open the doors back up and back to work? If you go through the pleasantries, how's the dog, how's the cat, how's the bird, how's the wife, how's the kids, go through all the pleasantries. It may take 10 minutes, maybe. What is that in the grand scheme of that job you're doing out there in the field? By the way, it's paid time. Since he stopped you, it's paid time anyway. Okay? Is it worth getting run off the job? That's where that went that day. That guy got run off that job. Does a company man need a reason to run you off?
Nope.
How employable are you after that? You won't be on that company's locations. Because all these company men talk to each other and pretty soon your mouth or your name will be around everywhere. In fact, they'll call and say, don't send Dan out. They will do that. Send anybody but him. You know, pretty soon what's going to happen with you? In the oil field, in case you don't know this right now, you work by your reputation. You may get an interview somewhere by someone recommending you, but they hire you by your reputation. You work by your reputation. Okay? How important is that? You get run off one or two locations out here, it will follow you all across the country, I guarantee you. I do this training right here all over the United States. I hear about people in North Dakota and Pennsylvania from here. Hey, you're from Odessa, you know this guy? A couple of them I've known. You know, where did you hire him? Nope. One guy's a real good downhole pump tech, real good tech. Did get hired in North Dakota. Got off one location down here, couldn't get hired up there. Okay. They're not supposed to say things on phone calls about you, but guess what they will do? Federal law says they can't say certain things. However, neither person will admit it was ever said or heard. Good Old Boy Network at its finest, guarantee you. Is the idiot worth your reputation? Is the idiot worth your job? And why let him do that? He's not supposed to be there. What I'm thinking right here is, what an idiot, what a dumbass, what a fool. How stupid can you be? I like to knock him down, slap him around a little bit. However, what good is it going to accomplish? He's going to help him or me, either one. If I try to correct him right there on the spot, what good is it going to do me? With his mental state being in a hurry, it's not going to get anything, is it? He won't hear what you're saying to number one, and he'll run you off number two. Won't accomplish anything, will it? What I will do with that guy, for the next indefinite time I'm working with him on the job site, say, hey, George, watch out for that rock by your truck, man. There's a snake hole about 5 feet past the panel outside the location here. I see some tracks, or maybe a live snake in there. Be careful of that snake hole. By the way, there's some dog poop over there. Don't step in that dog poop. You stink your truck up. I'll do things like that to him indefinitely every time he's on location. I'm being nice, aren't I? You want dog poop in your truck? On your boots? Yeah, I'm being nice to him, aren't I? They're all valid, legal things, aren't they? What's he thinking after I tell him a few times like that? Sir? Well, what I've done is I've told him he's an idiot without saying so many words. It takes me a few months, but pretty soon he gets the point. You know, I've had my say, haven't I? But I've been nice about it. You know, pretty soon, about 3 or 4 months' time, he knows I just think he's an idiot. In fact, I had one ask me at one time, say, man, you think I'm an idiot? Well, you know, you did do that. Was that guy qualified or not? The company man?
No.
Once you prove to someone that you're not qualified, which is what he did at that point in time, you're unqualified from that point forward till you go back through training again and quit doing what you were doing. Okay. 70E changed the definition of qualified person in 2015 when they changed the code. They added into it demonstrated skills. How do you demonstrate your skill? You do it. Okay. I've been doing this training in the area since 2004. I've always required people to go out in live equipment with me and show me you can use a meter, open doors up properly, things like that. Okay. For a disconnect on a pole, how do you have the doors up on it? Where do you stand to do so? Where do you stand to switch it?
Stand on the lower side.
Say my disconnect is right here, handle's right here. Where do you stand? Sir?
On the handle side.
Okay, if I can get back behind the front of the cabinet, say the front of the cabinet's right here. If I can get back here behind the front of the cabinet, I'll do it that way. Because any fire coming out is going to come out this way, that way. What if I can't get behind the front of the cabinet?
Opposite side of the door.
The old rule is turn your head and do it right here, right? The door being latched, screwed down, will hold the pressure back a little bit. As it starts being blown open, the fireball comes out like this right here. It doesn't come that way. Or the door holding it back and push it this way where you're at. I'm right here, just where I'm at.
In the fire.
I'm in the line of fire. Okay? If you turn your head and you're wearing a sock, you're wearing a shield and a hard hat. If you channel that fire right around your face, like the guy in Ohio got it right here, called the shield. Okay? You don't want to be right there on the corner, do you? You have a snake jump out at you?
Yes.
I've had rats jump out of cabinets, I've had two snakes jump out at me. They come out mouth open. If I'm right here, and light enters that cabinet, will open the door up, where do you think that snake's going to jump forward?
Good.
Toward the light. If I'm standing up the corner right here, he's coming out straight at me. If he bites me on the hand, I can put tourniquets on my arm. I can slow the poison flow to my heart, my system here. A little bit of time. I can work on getting it out, possibly. But I can clench it off and prevent it getting to my heart for a while. What if he bites you in the chest? Guess what? How long do you think you got in that case? A couple of minutes or so. He comes out mouth open and he strikes immediately when he hits something. He bites immediately. Okay? One very poisonous, one not poisonous at all, bull snake. Okay? However, you want a snake biting you in the chest? I've learned to adopt the hinge side of my cabinet doors almost every time now to turn switches on and off and open cabinet doors up. About why I do that in a little bit, but mainly critters and things. If I'm over here on the hinge side, I'll take my non-dominant hand, my left hand in this case, I'm right-handed. I'll turn the switch on and off without doing this. If you do that, it can still come out at you. I'll look straight at the switch, use PP, cut my head, look at the switch, turn it on or off. I'll open cabinet doors up this way also. It can blow it open, it can break your wrist, it can bust you in the face, as long as it gets burned up, am I? I'm not in the line of fire other than the door itself. The door is a barrier. Use the door. Particularly on bigger equipment, use that door. Okay? Why do you think I'm saying non-dominant hand to switch things with? You try to feed yourself with the other hand? You ought to try it sometime. You think you're more coordinated than you really and truly are. You're not that coordinated, believe it or not. Okay? You get food everywhere. Okay? Seriously, it's a good diet. You get just a little bit of food in. To be qualified, OSHA said to be basically qualified to work on the equipment, you must know three things about the equipment. Number one, the OSHA's level operates at by one means or another, by labels or detection or measuring. Number two, your approach boundaries based on arc flash, limited approach OSHA levels, and restricted approach based on OSHA levels. And number three, what can be energized inside the cabinet, component-wise, versus what should not be energized. If you understand those three things at a minimum, you're considered basically qualified. That's not all of it. That's basic qualifications. How much safety training you been to in the past? More you want to remember? When your clothes catch on fire, like I'm showing right here, what do all these classes tell you to do? Here where I go, stop, drop, and roll, right? Do they ever tell you when you can't use stop, drop, and roll? I don't hear that in classes. Would you believe I'm a prick up here, but I'm behind the seat over there, I'm a prick also? I'm an instructor's worst nightmare in training, believe me. I'm challenging everything he tells me. What he tells me in class has to work in the field. If it doesn't work in the field for me, it does me no good to learn it, does it? I don't work in here, I work out there, right? So, when can you not use stop, drop, and roll? What do you think?
Standard and law.
If I'm standing something that's flammable, it's not a good idea. That should be common sense, right? How common is common sense anymore? Not very, not much. You can't teach people common sense, believe it or not. That's not a training class you teach them. You learn that over time. Okay. So if I got contamination around, flammable contamination on the ground, I'm standing close to it or in it, not a good idea. When else would not work? What do you think?
Confined space.
If I can't roll around, it ain't going to help me either, is it? No room to roll around and do anything about it, it won't help. What about concrete floors? If your clothes are on fire, how are you putting the fire out? Because patting it won't work a lot of times. You got to smother it, right? To smother it means you're depriving it of oxygen. Is concrete going to deprive it of oxygen? One case, maybe if the middle of my back's on fire and I can get my shoulders, my back down across it on the concrete flat, it might put that part of the fire out. Otherwise, it ain't going to help me none. In that case, I can smother that particular area. Since your back of your vertebrae have a little indentation in there. Other than that, it ain't going to help you a lot. When else will it not work? Flammable contamination, concrete floors ain't going to help you. Confined space where you can't roll around won't help you.
Rolling in dry grass.
Dry grass is not a good idea either, huh? Where's the dry grass be found?
Everywhere.
Usually, in our case, off location somewhere. In the soft dirt. Soft dirt's what you want, isn't it? But there's dry grass growing in it. Okay. What about hard packed dirt and caliche?
Oh, no.
Not going to help you much, is it? Where do you work most of the time? What kind of surface are you standing on most of the time? Guess what? Drop, roll ain't going to help us a whole lot.
Oh, there's oil in the floor too.
Well, anything flammable close by is not going to be a good idea. Yeah. What if I'm 40 feet in the air?
Something wrong. Just dry.
That's a confined space, basically. I bounce around the bucket a little bit, but that's about all I'm going to do. It's not going to put it out. Okay. So what do you do up here? What's the best way to not let it happen?
Safety.
Don't go up there.
Don't go up.
Hang on a second. Not going up there would make sure it couldn't happen, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Had a lineman say send a helper up the other day. That doesn't mean it won't happen. It's just transferring that to somebody else. Okay. What did you say a while ago?
Avoid it.
Avoid it. How do you avoid it?
Look at the possible scenarios that something could happen.
So I've looked at all those. I've done my JSA. How can I make sure it can happen? We don't really lock out tie got poles. We take fuses out of the holders, take them down, and put them in the truck or tie them to the pole and top and put a lock on them. Depending on how people want to do it. Okay. Either way, I'm depowering, de-energizing the system, right? If all three phases are turned off here, could that happen?
Yes.
No. Not at all. You still pinch your finger, you smash your hand, you can do other things, but electrically that explosion can't occur, can it? Has to have the power turned on for it to occur, right? Let me ask you one more question before I give you a break. This lineman's wearing a harness and a lanyard tied off in the bucket like he's supposed to be wearing. What is that harness and lanyard? What's it classified as? It's fall protection, also known as PPE, correct? Why is he wearing that harness and lanyard in the bucket?
Preventing from falling.
It could turn
Could
over.
blast him over.
It could turn. In that case, I don't want to be tied to the bucket. I've had one do that many years ago, and I didn't want to be tied to the bucket. That hurt. Okay? I prefer to be able to jump free. Unfortunately, you can't unhook as quick as you think you can.
Yeah.
Okay? So can it keep him from falling out of the bucket?
No.
Is it there to prevent him from falling out of the bucket?
No.
So why is he wearing it? What's it there to do?
You hit the ground.
Thank you. Bottom line on that PPE, it's designed to save his life by making sure you can't hit the ground, correct? I know a guy's 81 years old now, lost both legs. Hung there 45 minutes, it's called suspension trauma on his legs. It took 3 years, he lost both legs, almost one to the hip. However, the concrete 65 feet below him, he didn't hit. That probably would have killed him. I sure messed you up if it didn't kill you. Okay? He's lucky every day. He's thankfully alive every day, believe it or not. Okay? All PPE whether it's your shirt and jeans, this fall protection, this lanyard and harness up here, whatever it is, it's designed to do one thing and one thing only within the ratings, worn properly and used properly. Save your life in a worst case situation. That doesn't mean you can't be injured using it. Your shirt and jeans are designed to protect your torso to a second degree burn. That puts you in a hospital and burn ward anyway. Okay? That means you should survive that event. Based on infections, you should be able to survive it. Okay? Not everybody does. Not worn properly or damaged, what's it going to do for you? Might as well not be wearing it most of the time. Okay. You'd be surprised, people's clothes catch on fire. They don't think as clearly as you think they can. When you're in pain, extreme pain like that, what do you think your thoughts are on?
Running.
Try to get away from the pain. You're not thinking about stop, drop, and roll usually. That's not a thought process that goes on at that point in time. Later on, yes, but not right then. How are we doing this morning?
Good.
I'm going to give you a 10-minute break. Before I let you go, it's a short 10. You know what a short 10 is? I don't want to cheat you. I'm not into cheating you out of time, okay? What it is 10 minutes. It's not 12 or 15. If you'll keep it on time, we'll get you done on time, get you out of here on time today, okay? Take a short 10-minute break. Restroom here, coat machines in another building, left and right both ways inside the building. And another restroom that way also.
Take a shot and down.
Let's go to the car. Hey, Paxton, what's going on, bro? Man, just so glad I went from Nowinski to
Good night, bro.
Well, Paxton.
That's because that shit ain't no good for you.
How you doing today?
All right.
When's the last time I saw you? Wasn't too long ago, was it?
It's last year about the same time.
Yeah.
You're young. That shit looks like a different class.
Probably a longer class.
There's longer.
Yeah.
2 days, 2 full days. What time are we?
Sir?
What time are we scheduled done with this one?
The classroom about 11 o'clock. Hands-on depends on how fast you get in, what sequence you're in.
It's not a full 8 hours.
No, sir.
It's 4 hours.
Yes.
Where's the water at?
All the way in that other building. Just walk in there, walk around.
Yeah, I'm headed that way anyway.
Classes, yeah. And then in the back there's water.
I'm going to check them up.
You're like a little kid, I swear. Oh, man. Woody, that's it. Malinsky, Woody, and Paxton. Woody's gonna make it.
Woody was the best one.
That was the best one.
Hey, how come your son quit? Paxton.
Actually, we've already had that covered. It was not my son. It was Jim Diggs' son.
No, that wasn't even Diggs' son. I wouldn't even do that to Diggs.
Yeah. Oh, you do it to me, though. Yeah, you are?
Yeah.
So he must have took his height after his mother. She was a big woman. You took after your mother, didn't you? Don't you look like your mother?
Johnny, put that bitch in the sun.
Come on. You look like your mother. She must have been a lovely woman.
My daddy was ugly as shit. I took that.
Oh, beauty in the eyes of the beholder, sir. Where'd you go? Is that a bathroom?
Huh? Oh, yeah. That's the bathroom. Nah, that's the door.
I'm gonna slap you.
There's a bathroom on the other side of it, but that's the door.
Slap you like you deserve to be slapped. No.
Got the program stuff, actually.
I like the little, I'm not going to use it much anymore. The little washing maker with all those sub pumps on
Yeah, we won't be using it for
it. Yeah!
2 or 3 months, and then
Yeah.
nobody else. Oh, no. That lasted for about a week.
You know, it's very convenient.
Well, once they figured out, hey,
we gotta pay that suction truck. Son of a bitch.
You know, that's just the way
You're
they
putting
do
something
it.
on that bitch. You're not paying that truck on your suction truck.
And how long is that going to take to get it out there? How much is going to be spilling? Filling the thing up.
Well, they already had an entire trucking company dedicated to it. They weren't going to do anything, Blake wasn't going to do anything else. They were getting rid of the flatbed and they were going straight into the suction.
They knew it was going to happen. They know it's going to happen.
They started looking at the cost of it and they said, "You doing this shit."
I want to know when they put the trays down inside, the tray cables down inside the wall instead of up on the wall. They're talking about putting it down inside, so who's going to clean that up when that thing gets covered with oil? Tray cable runs up high.
No, tray cable won't be inside.
I just heard yesterday they're going to put tray cable down. And I said, what? How would they put it down inside the? Why would you use that purpose? On blocks.
They're gonna have to. No. That's a totally different deal.
I just seen the fridge yesterday.
That part you're talking about, you're not talking about very many cables. That's just a couple of cables. Never drink. Oh, yeah. But everybody's gonna have to be trained on how to use the ends on the wire. So I don't know who's gonna do it. There's already nobody in our company that knows how to do it. I don't know anybody that I work with that has ever used CLX or used ceiling connectors.
I know.
Well, I know, but I mean company wide.
They're going to do this for the SWDs as well?
Yep.
Supposedly. It's stupid.
You got 2 months until they start on the designs.
We're not, but we're starting, aren't we starting the 1st of May? Are we doing a tank battery with them?
What?
The 1st of May?
The tank battery right now.
Yeah, Aaron started it.
Rio Grande.
Never. No, it's not. It's the Hazelwood.
No, we're doing Rio Grande right now.
The Hazelwood is the one.
This instant.
We're doing Hazelwood is the first one they did.
This is a partial.
And this is with Drake?
They get that dry figured out.
I walked in, that's what it was.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't trying to say that. They've had a few times where we took the trash out and left something in the bottom or lighted in there. You smell it when you walk in the door. You
Charles, so they're building the tank battery. They haven't run the cable trace yet, have they?
They're fixing it, right?
In the starter.
When?
For the contact.
Every next week or so.
And it wouldn't.
The guy that's coming to replace you, I mean, the next guy that we're fixing to hire,
You know,
is going to do
when you go in on Bryant Ranch, when you turn in on Bryant Ranch on the east
west
side,
side or the east?
on the east side, go to the first road back north. Turn down that north, and it's right there. It's a satellite battery.
It's that battery that's to the left there, when you go east, it's that
The
first
only
battery.
difference between Ron and Cliff is Ron ain't colorblind.
It's a satellite battery and it's sending it to an existing battery.
I didn't do it, man. Not yet.
What's the difference between a Harley and a Hoover? Up there for about 30 minutes.
Dirt bag, something about dirt bag.
Position of the dirt bag.
Yeah.
Hey, just bought a Harley, bitch. Just bought a Harley.
Dirt bags on which one?
Oh yeah.
On both of them.
Man, that shit was bad. You drove
I don't want
down
to call
to,
Charles a dirt bag.
You drove down to
You know what? You call me anything you want. That Harley only cost me $3,000.
How much?
$3,000.
How the hell did you do that?
But, yeah,
Who'd you rob?
You know, the wind was whipping and everything.
It's not nice. I do feel bad about it. I feel good because I gave the guy money.
Everywhere.
He lost his leg.
Uh-oh.
The sun.
So he had to get rid of
I
it.
don't think there are any clouds.
He had to have
The sun
cash
doesn't
for the
shine too
hospital.
good just 'cause-
So it cost you an arm and a leg?
Look,
Until he get back on his feet.
cost him a leg, didn't it?
It was diabetes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I told him I'd keep it. If I sold it, he'd get his first chance at it.
I bought a rifle a while back the other way. Guy going through divorce had to sell some guns. I got a real good deal on 308. That he came back about a year later and said, "Want to buy my rifle back?" I said, "Nope. That wasn't part of our deal."
If I
It's
get
not
ready
for
to
sale.
sell it, you're the first one.
And I told him that.
But that don't mean I'm selling.
No. I got a P308 AR-10.
Yeah.
That sucker's sweet.
That's nice.
Yes, it is. I did a coffee can at 500 yards with it. I said, nope. Ain't letting it go.
It's
Okay, there's the deal. You got to make clean your own mess up, man.
come clean my own mess up.
Yeah, my son, he's in the Marine Corps. He's over at Abilene. And he builds,
Kinda do.
I didn't take any parts of life. You're the one that got the coffee.
You know what's that?
I'm the one
Yeah,
that
I'm
does
a
this.
coder.
You know, he's a composer. I'm just a composer.
He's a one.
yeah,
He's a one
You need
picture.
if it's raining or it's cold,
Yeah, you're not.
it's chilly. I'm not on that bike.
That's a weekend for you.
You get it? Don't do it again.
Posters are bad.
Is it my imagination that table kind of wobbly?
Yeah, a little bit.
If the projector worked this morning, I wouldn't squeeze y'all up, but the projector's not working. That's why I'm using mine.
Stop it. Stop it. He did it that time.
How high do you have it?
Got a drink.
I'm gonna leave those paper towels there.
Yeah,
If y'all need a paper towel for donuts, they're right here.
Lynn's got
They
a drinking
keep making a
problem.
mess. I'm gonna leave them right here just in case.
Or if you're like that, you can fill your coffee.
Welcome back. You're doing good on the break.
Where's
Thank
the
you.
mouse part?
I had a friend just a little over a year ago, killed here in Odessa. In a situation like I'm gonna show you right here. He had an unexpected day off on a Friday morning. Had a call contractor rain out. They couldn't work in the rain. It was raining that morning. So I sent the whole crew home. Him and 4 of his buddies got together. They're going to have a little party at the house, watch sports on TV, eat pizza, drink beer, have a little time to themselves here. He got to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. About 7 o'clock that evening, they ran out of beer. He's the last guy at the house. He's the last guy in the parking area in the driveway. Guess who goes after beer? If you can get your vehicle out easier than anybody else, guess who gets to go? You do. He got elected out of the way to go get the beer. How clearly is he thinking? He's been drinking all afternoon, been eating also, which mitigates the alcohol content to some degree. How clear do you think he's thinking right now? He is legally impaired by law. Okay? He wasn't drunk. He was 2 points under being drunk when they did an autopsy on him. He wasn't drunk. He had been drinking though. Okay? It's not raining when he leaves. There's puddles of water on the road. The road's still wet. The ground's still wet. They think he hit a puddle of water a little too fast, lost control of the car, hit a power line pole. Hard enough to put a 3-foot dent in front of his car. Okay, just under 3 feet. How clear do you think he's thinking right now? He got lucky. He wasn't hurt. Banged him up a little bit. That's all it was. Okay. Power line, tension on the power line, broke the phase closer to the road. That phase fell on top of his car. It's there for a few minutes. It's bouncing around. Pretty soon it bounces off the car, across the hood, lands in front of the car on the ground. EMS is going back to their shop. Ambulance is going back to their shop. They come down the road. They come across the accident on the highway. The road here is stopped to see what's going on. Got lights blaring. Everything's going on out here. Guy gets out of the ambulance and says, get out of the car where you can. Guess what he does? Gets out of the car. I've had 3 people that know I knew him call me now and said they were there when it happened. They described from different locations what was going on. They said the guy got out, said get out where you can. Said he opened the door up, turned sideways in the seat, Stood up, he's kind of wobbly when he stood up. They said you see him wobbling a little bit, wasn't sure-footed. Said he grabbed the doorpost with the windows rolled down and steadied himself. Car's not energized, that's not a problem right now. Okay? So you can see him get his footing. He let go of the door, took one step and got killed. Right there on the spot. Why?
The ground was energized.
The ground's energized. Okay. Where should he have stayed? What was his safe place to be?
Car.
The car. Here's the problem with the situation. He'd been through my class 5 times in 10 years. I've looked him up. I got 5 records on him, 5 different times in 10 years. He'd been through this video. I had this video since 2004. I've always talked about this video in class, okay? He knew exactly what to do and how to do it. He also knew if the power line's not on the vehicle's not energized right now, the safe place is in the vehicle, okay? He knew all that right here. One small problem. He couldn't do what he needed to do. Why?
He was impaired.
What they call mental state, or human factor, okay? On your JSA in 2018, starting October, you got to account for human factors playing into the accident injuries. That's a new thing coming up on us, okay? Have you been out 15 hours a day before? Have you been drinking that afternoon like he was? You know, is anything that can impair your judgment or your ability to do your job? You're supposed to account for those things. If that makes the risk higher, you're supposed to not do it, or that person's not supposed to be doing it. One of the two. That's going to be added to the JSA in October this year. That's required now. Okay. He knew what to do, exactly what to do, how to do it and all. And couldn't do it because of mental state. Okay. That's what got him killed that day. So what really got him killed? What was really the cause of his death?
Listen to the person that told him to get out.
They should have known better, honestly. They should have known the power line's not on the vehicle, it's safer in the vehicle. Utility crew got there in 10 minutes or less, they pulled the fuses, he's already dead. You know.
They need to do a hot system.
Well, let's talk about that in a minute. I'm going to put my helper in the cab of this truck. Should he be there? Where should he be?
Working.
Not in the truck, right? Somewhere 10 feet or so from the truck. Okay. Not in contact with the vehicle. Doors closed, windows up. He needs to jump out of the truck to get clear. It's on fire, right? How do you get the door open and jump out? How do you do it? What do you think? Sir?
You got to grab the handle.
Go open it somehow. Got to move that handle somehow, right? Had a guy in class the other day said, use your foot. You know how hard that's going to be? My boot is 2.5 inches thick from the sole to the top of the boot, up the toe. I've got to turn upside down, get my toe in the handle, and do that. It's not easy. The chance of successfully doing that at my age is slim to none. Okay? Believe it. I actually tried to see if it'd work. It won't work very well. Okay. You think it's funny, don't you? My wife thought it's funny too. What the hell are you doing? So I'm trying to do with my foot.
YouTube thing.
I could have just made it go down. What the heck? I should put it on YouTube, huh? Okay. I need to open the door up, right? Is there any reason I can't take my hand and reach over and unlatch the door?
And it's metal. Yeah,
Most of them are metal. It's kind of structured metal door handles. On the end of it, plastic. It's on a metal stud on the cog to open the door. Okay, that's mounted to a metal frame inside that metal door frame. On all the Chevy trucks, they don't glue them on; they bolt them on. So they're bolted onto the frame, the body here. The body may be on isolators, but it's also bolted to the frame of the vehicle. It's metal-to-metal contact. Everything in there's the same line voltage, isn't it? Or the 7,000 volts or 69,000 volts, like right here. The man in the truck is a line voltage also. You see birds on power lines? Why don't birds get killed on power lines?
No difference in potential.
There's no difference. Both their feet in this case are at the same voltage level, aren't they? In that case, it doesn't cause harm to them. If they touch another phase, touch a ground tire somewhere, a ground wire, you'll see feathers fly. Other than that, they're pretty safe, right? What I've got to be here is the bird on the wire. How's electricity kill you? How's it cause harm to the human body? What's required? You mentioned part of it.
Difference in potential.
So how do I get those different potentials? It's got the different motion levels.
Break the voltage.
I've got to have at least 2 points of contact. Okay, if I can run a 100,000 volt wire through the middle of the classroom right here and levitate in midair and touch it with my hand, would it cause harm to me?
No.
Why not? Well, if I grab it with 2 hands, how's it going to do that? It is possible, but not real likely. As long as I'm at the same voltage level. Okay? Based on resistance from here to here, it could. Based on the person sometimes, but usually not going to do that. Okay? Same line voltage level, same voltage points right here, should not cause problems. Okay? What if I have, yes sir?
We're still talking about a line truck, right?
Yes sir.
So line truck has the feet down.
Well, usually the feet on the ground aren't grounded. That doesn't ground you. I'm supposed to drop a ground rod 8 feet in the ground in a power line truck, digger, and bucket truck, and ground the frame of the truck and take that ground to a pole ground also. If they do that, I'm grounded. If they don't do that, the outrigger's on the ground, you're not grounded. Too much resistance on the ground to call it grounding. Okay? They should have grounded this rig, they didn't do so. Okay? There's no reason I can't take one hand, just one hand, and unlatch the door.
No.
Okay? There's no reason I can't do that. Don't try to push the door with your hand. Could the wind catch the door and jerk it out of your hand? Could it cause you to become unstable and cause you to fall out of the vehicle? Don't take that kind of chance. Unlatch it, let it rest, like this door is right here. Unlatch it, let it rest on the latch, like that right there. Sit back on the seat where you're stable, take your leg in your boot, and push the door all the way up until it holds itself open. Once my door is open, I can jump out, right? How far you want to try to jump?
Just enough to be stable.
Sir? I've got to land, see if you can see me over here in the corner. I've got to land with my feet touching and my hands close to my body. In order to land and not separate my feet and become stable or fall on the ground, how far can you jump? And land like this right here.
Foot, maybe?
You won't be 4 or 5 feet. Okay? If you try to jump too far, the impact on the ground will be doing unstable. You can fall on the ground, you separate your feet. Within 10 feet of the vehicle, you're dead. Dry ground or otherwise, you're dead. Okay? You don't want to separate your feet at all. In that case, a couple of feet's all I need. Don't try to jump 48 inches past the door swing. You probably can't make it to start with. If you do get there, you may kill yourself getting there. Okay? Jump somewhere in this area right here. Okay? Body of my truck, my door about 70 degrees on most front doors on trucks. Okay? If I land here, can that move? That's my first thread, isn't it?
Yes.
I've got to get from here to here now, quickly. How do I do it?
Shuffle.
How do I get that other 2 feet or so?
Shuffle.
Can you shuffle?
You shuffle your
Shuffle your feet.
What, you're saying hop like a bunny rabbit and shuffle. Which one is it, man? Do I hop and shuffle? Or do I shuffle and then hop? I'm picking on you. He couldn't decide what he wanted to do here for a minute. Okay? Encore and TXU on TV ads, announcements on TV, tell people hop like a bunny rabbit. Bullshit. That's not realistic. Okay? When's the last time you hopped like a bunny rabbit? And keep your feet touching at all times.
Yesterday.
That's the key to hopping. They must be touching at all times. You have to become the bird on the wire. As you jump across the ground, you're at the same voltage level, aren't you, that way? If you separate your feet at any point in time, you're not the same voltage level. They must be touching at all times when you're hopping. That's unlikely to occur, particularly 35 or 40 feet or 75 feet in damp conditions. Unlikely to do it all the way across that area. You missed your shuffle? You missed your shuffle a while ago. How do you shuffle, you know?
Keep the feet together, just do
Okay.
like half the foot.
Go in step to in step.
Yeah, inside.
Half step at a time. All you do is rub the leather, move the dirt, you shuffle. Keep on rubbing. By doing that, I'm always at the same voltage level, aren't I? My feet are always at the same voltage level going across the ground. Don't step over things. Don't step at your feet. Keep on rubbing together. Move the dirt on the ground. Okay. In dry conditions, I need to get 35 to 40 feet out here, 7,200 volts. Higher voltage level, further I need to go. At 12,470 phase to phase. One phase to ground, 7,200 volts. In damp conditions, I need to get 50 to 75 feet away. It can be deadly 50 feet out. Okay. Well, if I go 50 feet, I'm not sure I've gone far enough.
Keep shuffling.
One guy said, I went to the bar the other day on me in class. I understand going to the bar. Might need a drink after something like that. At one stop before you get to the bar, go home and change your underwear. This right here is a serious situation. Believe it or not, I've seen some big men pee their pants in a situation like this. Okay? You will live or die right here within 10 minutes, one way or the other. That's guaranteed. In 10 minutes, you'll be alive or you'll be dead. If you die, it's going to be a very painful way to go. Okay? How do you do it? Can you do it? If a power line fell in your vehicle somehow, you got to cross a situation like that, could you get out and could you get away? A lot of people can't. In order to use what I just told you, this has to be clear. Okay? It has to be clear. That's one friend this year that knew better and couldn't do what he needed to do. This is what I call my best case scenario in the classroom environment. Tell you why I call it that. I've got all three phases coming in right here, all three right here. I've got a bar rolling across all three of them. It's an intentional phase-to-phase short circuit. For the breaker or fuse on that circuit, it'll make that breaker or fuse open as fast as possible. That means the fireball you see come out of the cabinet here in a minute goes away as quick as it possibly can. The energy feeding it is gone as quick as possible. If I've got a phase to ground fault, the resistance of the path back to the circuit energized in that fault condition may be so high it can't switch the breaker or fuse out. In that case, the fireball doesn't go away until it burns everything up where it can't sustain itself. That may be several minutes, maybe 20 minutes sometimes, where it burns the entire building down. Okay? How long do you think the human body can stand in 35,000 degrees? That's the average temperature on them. We had a smart-ass MIT scientist 5 years ago did a study on human tissue tolerance and temperature ratings and said 1/2 of 1 nanosecond. That's what he came out with. That's why I call him a smart-ass. He should have just said no time. 1/2 of 1 nanosecond, we can't even comprehend how quick that is, much less do anything about it. He should have just said no time. Okay? The last time you're in a cabinet, in the field, an energized cabinet, one way or another, put yourself in front of my cabinet dressed the way you were then. How far away do you think you'd be? And how far away from the cabinet when you're working in it? If you work out here, you may start right here. Pretty soon you'll wind up doing that number. You'll be right here. That's roughly 15 to 18 inches from your face and body. Okay. So put yourself 18 inches in front of my cabinet, dressed the exact same way you were the last time you was in a live cabinet. Tell me the outcome. I got a picky mouth. I thought I started playing, didn't it? Just 30 amps. Just 30 amps. 48 volts, 30 amps. What would the outcome have been? Good or bad?
Bad.
Why?
Yeah. Didn't have the proper stuff on you.
That's that black smoke.
You know what human beings are? We're lazy. We don't want to work any harder than we have to do the job, right? So I put all that gear on. Haven't needed it for a year. Hadn't had any problems for a couple of years out here. Why put it on today?
Safety.
Probably won't need it today either, right?
Protect yourself.
Correct? Most likely nothing's going to happen. How good are you playing the odds? Have I got any gambling millionaires in here yet? I don't see many of them. We're all working for a living, aren't we? And that, you ever gambled before? How good are your odds at that? What you're doing out here, you're gambling. You know, you got better odds at a casino than out here, believe it or not. And the odds are all in their favor in a casino. I've seen the results of these things where it blew an entire building up, burnt rooms down, solid block walls got blown out. Okay. You can do a lot of damage in a very short period of time. Don't trust things. Don't trust other people out here. I mentioned this morning that for electricians, stop, drop, and roll probably won't work for us, didn't I? Remember that? Sure, a little video here. I've got a standard Carhartt jacket on this mannequin right here, not FR, just a regular jacket. I've got an FR-rated jacket on this mannequin over here. Cooper Busman, who makes fuses, is doing the study. It's a 30 amp arc fault. Tell me if the guy in the brown jacket, the Carhartt jacket on the right side, can think about stop, drop, and roll, much less use it. Okay? What do you think he's thinking about right now?
Running.
He's not thinking.
Not thinking.
Thoughts will come in several minutes later usually. So what's he going to do?
Run.
Why?
Because he's.
Almost every time, 99% of the time, he'll run if possible. Shock takes time. Believe it or not.
You gotta get away from whatever's done. The person's think will be wrong.
Do you know what primal instincts are? Have you ever heard the term primal instincts? What are they? Fight or flight. Okay. Right now, to fight it, he's got to stand there in the pain, doesn't he? The human body knows two things without conscious thought. The fact that you can't breathe, you're suffocating, it knows naturally without any kind of conscious thought process of any kind. It also knows extreme pain. What does he know right now?
So?
He can't breathe. The fire's taking all the oxygen out of the atmosphere around his face. He can't breathe. Extreme pain. What's he going to do in reaction to that? Run. Almost every single time. Plus, there's a reason why he can't. When he's boxing where he can't run, you run as far as you can. If you're standing behind him, 5 feet away, and he turns that direction to run, he won't remember you're there. You'll run straight through you. He won't see you, and will not remember you're there. There's a 100-foot drop off to the right, and he turns that direction, it's 10 feet away, he won't remember it's there. He'll run straight off of it. He can't see anything, he doesn't hear anything, he doesn't remember anything. There are no thought processes going on. Okay. This is the same kind of fire scenario as if you blow the cabinet up on yourself. It's what we call a funnel fire situation. The worst kind for a human being. Okay. So how do I avoid this? How can I make sure that something like this can't happen? Sir? But is that going to prevent it? That's not going to stop it from happening. No, it's still going to happen, right? How can I stop it from occurring to start with? Shut it down. Shut it down. I learned many years ago, I had my German license about a month or so. I started to run crews. The contractor, I'm working like a 2-man crew, 3-man crew, small jobs. And I burnt 3 control screwdrivers up in 1 week. They're all in my toolbox. On a Thursday, I burnt the 4th one up. Why am I burning control screwdrivers up? The little tip, blowing the tip off of them. Little Excel control screwdrivers, little expensive little suckers. I like the expensive screwdrivers. I've now burnt 4 of them up. Friday morning, I'm going to go down and buy another one. I need the control screwdriver. I need to be able to use them in small areas. Why am I burning screwdrivers tips up?
It's not ringing.
The power's still turned on. I'm doing stuff, the power's still turned on, aren't I? Most of those 4 screwdrivers in my toolbox and say, you know what, Dudley? If you keep doing this, you're going to blow it up on yourself. It's going to escalate over time, isn't it? That's a warning to me. What I'm doing is I'm doing troubleshooting, and I'm losing track of where the switch is at. I'm forgetting. I turn it on and off. I forget where it's at. You get tired of doing that number, don't you? Pretty soon your neck gets sore. I'm not doing it anymore. I know where the switch is at. Pow! I'm burning tips off screwdrivers. Okay. I need a way to know where the switch is at. I bought a 5-pound brass padlock here at KB Lock on Dixie. 5-pound brass padlock. I had 2 rules for it. It could be on my pocket when the switch was turned on. It could be in the switch, hooked in the switch when the switch is turned off. Okay? It could not be anywhere else. How heavy is 5 pounds on your pocket? How heavy is that? At that time, I had no butt. It pulled my pants off forward and careful. I'd keep tighten my belt up. It was very uncomfortable. Okay, I got that 5-pound padlock for a reason. The weight was my motivator. How long do I want that lock on my pocket of my tool pouch? Not very long. Where can it be if it's not there? Where's the switch got to be? It had to be turned off, and that had to be hooked to the switch. That's my flag. I'm not doing lockout tag out, and lockout tag out rules do not apply to that lock. It's an indicator for me. If the weight's here, the switch is on. Think I'd know the weight was there? If the weight wasn't there, you think I know it wasn't there? That meant the switch was turned off, and I put the hook into it. I quit blowing screwdrivers up. I quit blowing tools up. Quit having Arky Sparky in the field. All that ceased when I started doing that. I never burnt tools up after that. Well, 1 pair of pliers. A little help from the plumber. He gets a piece of pipe. Got me inside the cabinet. I had the energized pliers working with me. And got the tip of them across a contact point in the cabinet. Because even the back of the piece of pipe. Other than that, I've not burnt tools up over the years out here. Small thing to do though, isn't it? If you don't need the power turned on for some reason, when you're doing troubleshooting particularly, turn the switch off. If the switch is turned off, what can go wrong electrically? Hardly anything. With the switch turned on, what can go wrong? All kinds of stuff, huh? It's a small thing. If you don't need it for a reason, getting a voltage reading, getting a current reading, something like that, turn it off. When you need it, turn it back on. Verify your readings. When you get those, turn it back off. The more time it's off, the less chance of something going wrong out here. I'll show you videos shown in a lot of safety classes out here. This man right here in front of the cabinet, this one right here, is supposed to be following a procedure that he wrote. He actually wrote the procedure himself. The 7th item on his procedure list was close and latch the cabinet door. He does a lot of things wrong here. But if he'd have done that one item, he'd probably still be alive today. Because he did not do that one item. Sure what happens to him. He's going to the right, he's backing it into the bus. What do you do then? He did die. Burned him alive right there on the spot. They found a bunch of bones really when they picked it all up. Two good things came out of that. If you want to look for anything silver lining in a bad situation, two good things came out of this whole thing. Number one, the other guy involved here didn't get involved in it. Go back to it. This guy right here went after a tool in his shop. Coming back, he didn't get involved in it. Didn't kill two guys, he only killed one. The guy that did kill right here, he didn't suffer in a burn wound for 7 months before he died. He was killed within a short period of time right there. Only two good things out of it. He didn't suffer for a lot of months afterwards. Okay. What if he'd closed the door? Like he should have done, what his procedure said to do. What if he'd have done that? It still would have blown up. He probably would have blown the door open, correct? The handle's through the door hinge on the left side of the hinge right here. It's going to turn that away with him, isn't it? If I'm behind the door, where's his body going to go? Like I said, this point, the door's a barrier. Okay? Use the door. There's a way to do it with this door. There's a hole drilled in the middle of the door. To plug in the hole, you pull it out, you close the door, and racket that away. That one item on the procedure list was not all he didn't follow. But that one item would have saved his life that day. Okay? Don't skip things. You know what a shortcut is? How do you get a shortcut out of something? You know how you do that? We say don't do it, but how do people do it though? They do it. How are they doing it? Let's say I got five steps to do something. How do I get a shortcut out of that? Either get rid of one of them or more of them, or modify more than one, right? When you get rid of one and modify those procedures and steps, what's your knowledge based on when you do that? Do you know why that step is there? Do you know what could go wrong if you eliminate it? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. You know. If you disagree with the procedure steps, get involved and get them changed. If they don't fit the situation in the field, get involved and get them changed. In the meantime, you've got to follow those procedures, like them or not. Okay? He left the breaker in and out 5 times that morning. He left it charged, which is a no-no. He left it closed, which is a no-no. He didn't transfer the load off that breaker cabinet to another breaker temporarily. Left it on under a load, power turned on, in all kinds of bad situations. All no-nos for racking a breaker in and out. And he knew better. All those given, though, if you close the door, he'd still be alive. They claim the average male, around 1 to 3 milliamps, your hair will stand up on your arm, you feel a tingle on your skin surface. How small is a milliamp? Damn small. That's 0.001 to 0.003 amps, right? Real small, isn't it? Between 5 and 10 milliamps, if you grab something that's energized like that right there, you probably can't let go of it. That's 0.005 amps. That's what they call lost muscle control or the lock-in point. Anytime you grab something with your bare hand that could possibly be energized, don't involve your thumb. Your thumb's what locks you in right there. If you do it open-handed, it'll knock you off usually. Worst case, it'll cause your fingers to curl. You still get clear of it. Do not involve the thumb. That's what locks you in place. Okay? I suggest you don't touch it if you can be energized. But if you got to do it anyway, don't get the thumb involved in it. Okay? Around 50 milliamps, it'll freeze your lungs so you can't get a breath of air. That will give you 6 minutes maximum before brain damage starts occurring. Around 75 milliamps, give me 50 volts in 30 seconds, I'll probably stop your heart. Almost guaranteed in a few seconds here. Can CPR restart your heart? How many of y'all work by yourself out in the field? You're going to do CPR and you can go down. Kind of hard to do that. Doesn't work very well. For those of you that work with somebody else, how long can they give you CPR?
Until we get tired.
Until they just run out.
How long do you think?
Not long enough.
10
for that.
minutes, maybe.
That's the other part of the problem right there. How far is medical help from you? Okay. Now the book says till you're relieved, right? That's the book world. The book says until you're properly relieved by medical help or someone else qualified to do CPR, you must keep doing CPR, right? Let's get back in the real world. How long can you go?
10 minutes at the most.
National average is 5 minutes. They changed CPR a while back. You know what the change was? Compression, no breathing, basically. Okay? You know why they say compression versus breathing? Because it used to be 30 compression, 2 breaths, 30 compression, 2 breaths. They changed that to compression only. You know why they changed it to that?
Because whenever you compress it, it's compressing the
If you
lungs.
stopping and blowing and going back, it's going to tire you out worse than just keep going.
It does tire the person out more. You can only last 5 minutes. That's about 8 minutes now doing compression only. That is part of it. When a person goes down normally, the last thing the body does naturally is taking a deep breath of air. That's one of the last things the body does. That air they took in is already in the lungs, being dispersed into the bloodstream. It's already being oxygenated. You can't get enough air in orally to get it into within an hour's time. It'll do no good. If they're drowning, yes. You displace the water in the lungs with the air. You can make them cough up the fluids. In that case, you need breathing, but not for CPR. Okay. Will CPR restart the guy's heart? If it's taken out electrically, will CPR restart it? No. If you fall off a ladder and it stops your heart, the impact stops your heart, there's a chance I can restart your heart. You'll be beating on your chest for CPR. There's a chance I can restart it that way, not electrically. What's required to restart electrically? You got one on your truck?
No.
Another electrical job?
Guess where they are?
Somebody's desk.
In the offices somewhere. They'll put them in the office buildings. Okay? If it was me and you in the middle of nowhere, I'm not trying to shock you again. They'll find 4 burn marks on you, 2 from you and 2 from me. Okay? However, what are the odds of that doing any good? Not a lot. Honestly, not a lot. But I ain't going to say I've done the best I can do till I shock you again and try it. Okay? They may find several burn marks on you. Okay? You don't ever know. It might do something. It may not do any good at all. Worst it could do is nothing, right? That's the worst it could do. Okay? But that's me. That's not you. Medical help is how far away normally from your job sites.
Miles and miles.
If you're across town, it'll take them an hour to get to you right now. In the traffic where it is right now, it'll take an hour to get to you. Honestly, almost. Because people won't get out of the way. People won't pull like they're supposed to do. They don't do what they're supposed to do. You know, I saw it down John Ben Shepherd the other day. 3 cars abreast, side by side, ambulance right behind 3 of them. None of them had enough damn sense to look in the mirror and get out of the way. You know, not a one of them. You can't rely on stuff like that. This is a normal situation for a human being in a fault situation. We'll call it ground fault. If that hand is locked in on that conductor up here like this, how long is he going to be there? You can't let go. You can't get free, you can't let go. Okay. The damage done depends on 3 primary factors. The path the current takes from point to point, from his hand in this case to his foot, how much current flows the pathway, and how long it flows. Low current long time is high current short time. They cause the same amount of damage. What kind of damage they cause, you know? What kind of damage can it cause?
Just gonna microwave the entire inside of your body.
Nope. An amp and a half burns internal organs. 1.5 amps starts burning internal organs. It doesn't take but a few seconds of flowing time to do so. Once you burn the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the spleen, the liver, things like that, how well do you think they work after that? And they fail quicker in your life also. So that little short time there may have shortened your entire lifespan. Sure, some things I found a little while back. I've always known this in the field. Most common fatality voltage, 120 volts. You know why that is?
That's common.
It's everywhere. We do it all the time, don't we? Yeah. How many times you plug something in and out of the receptacle out here? You know how to plug a receptacle, a cord in a receptacle and pull it out? How do you do it?
Jerk on the cord.
Of course. Why not? Let's just grab the cord and jerk it. Okay. How are you supposed to do it? By the plug, right? Not by the cord. Small thing, isn't it? I had a secretary almost got killed in Odessa. I saw her grabbing the cord and jerking it out. They put a cap on the cord, cut the cord off and a new cap on it. She jerked the cord out of the wall, and when it came out, she grabbed the cord. It snapped out of her hand. She grabbed the cord. It came loose from the cord cap. She grabbed live wires and stuff. There's a reason why they say use the cord cap itself or the plug itself to pull it loose with. Okay. Small thing though, isn't it? Most of the time the cord's okay. Most of the time, isn't it? Or just by age group. Where do you fall? Are you in that 25 to 34 age range?
Yeah.
I'm 62. I'm down here somewhere, trying to get down to here. Ain't quite there yet, but I'm trying to get there. Okay. Why do you think it is between 25 and 35 years old? They have more accidents and deaths.
Because they're cocky, they're careless.
Yep. Been there and done that, right? By the time you're 25, you've been on the job for a while, you know what's going on, your hard hat's all dirty, got a bunch of stickers on your hard hat. You know, you've been there for a while, you get cocky, don't you? Ain't had no problem so far, guess what? Also, one day here it comes. Okay? Yep, that's another part of the problem. When I started doing this training, I had to investigate burn injuries. I had to learn more about how they treat them, what's required, what the burn life expectancy is, what goes on with burn events and things like that. I learned a couple of things. Number one, if the percentage of burn to your body and your age added together, total to be 100 or more, your chances of finding that burn event are minimal. Some books will say 5 to 10%, some say 10 to 15%. Almost all of them say less than 20% chance of surviving that event. If you go into a burn ward like that, how do you think they do for it? What can they do? Would you believe most burn wards, our regular burn ward is UMC in Lubbock. That's level 2 trauma burn center for the region. If you get burnt real bad here, they life flight you to Lubbock. That's where you go. Okay? What do you think they can do for you? If they think you're not going to survive, what do you think they do? Because they pretty well know.
Morphine.
You got to get to the good drugs, the guy told me. They did all the morphine, the good drugs. What are they doing?
Just
What they're trying to do?
keeping you comfortable, easing pain.
They're managing pain. Okay? The humane thing to do would be to shoot you. I'm serious.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, the most humane thing would be to go ahead and shoot you and be done with it. Get you out of pain completely and be done with it. You're going to die anyway most of the time. Okay? That's against the law. They can't do that. Okay? What they can do is what they call pain management. If the body's in a lot of pain, it will last and go a lot longer than if it's not in pain. I've seen guys in combat shot 15 or 20 times, still shoot back at the enemy. When the heat of the battle's over with, when the pressure of the battle's over with, then they pass over and died. But in the meantime, they're still locked in shooting back at the enemy. Okay? Same thing's true here. They can't kill you. They can help you to what the guy told me is they expire. They manage the pain level where the body's relaxed. At a certain point in time, you can expire. How long do you think that might take?
A day of 3 months.
Sometimes a couple of days, maybe a few months, honestly. Okay. That's all they can do for you. They can try to manage the pain to help you die, as they call it, help you expire. What if you come in and they think you're going to survive? What do you think they do?
Skin grafts.
Start working on it.
You get that morphine and Demerol once in a while when you can't stand the pain, and very limited doses of it. I only have to, what they call, knock the edge off of it, as he told me. Okay. Other than that, you get Tylenol, basically, over-the-counter Tylenol almost. Okay. Which means there's a lot of pain, right? You ever been in a burn ward?
Yep.
You want to go in one again? Why not?
That's the worst thing to do.
Were you there as a patient or a visitor?
No, I was there as a visitor.
No, he was born looking at them.
That's 2 warnings I gave you. Be nice to people.
Yes, sir.
Now they scrub it off.
Be nice. Be nice. I've been in two since 1975. Okay, I'll tell you briefly about one of them. I was in combat in Vietnam in 74 and 75. I got there as a 15-man crew, at the cleanup crew, as they called it. In 1973, the United States was out of the war in Vietnam. The colors came home, as they called it. The war was officially over in 1973 for us. So what am I doing there in 1974 and 75? Cleaning up problems. They had some stuff they didn't need to take care of, okay? I was in one firefight. It wasn't too bad. 20 people got killed in it. That's not too bad for firefights. The other firefight I was in, 60 people got killed roughly. What the news doesn't tell you is in combat, when the firefight's over with, the heat of the battle's over with, here's what they call an armistice. Both sides stand down. You're not shooting each other right now. You go out, you pick up your dead and wounded. Right now, you're doing cleanup of the battlefield, so to speak. Okay? When that time is over with, usually 2 or 3 hours of that, you're back to fighting again. I walked 20 feet from a VC officer. I shot 3 hours later. Right now, we're not fighting. Okay? It's a stand down. I picked half of a man up, one of my friends in combat, the upper half of him, to put him in a body bag. He said, not yet. His eyes opened up. He said, not yet. I said, shit. The bottom half is gone. He's still alive. I learned a lot of things about you in combat. Number one, the brain says no more pain. It'll shut it down. I asked him, I said, man, you in pain? I got morphine on my helmet. He said, nope, don't waste it. Use that for somebody that needs it. He said, I don't feel any pain. I said, what can I do for you? He said, give me last rites. I said, man, I ain't Catholic. He said, well, do the best you can. Okay. For 3 minutes or so, I did the last rites for him. Okay, the best I could do. Can you imagine picking up half of one of your friends, he's still alive, and having a 3-minute conversation with him before you put him in a body bag? Can you imagine doing something like that? I'd rather do that again tomorrow than walk into a burn ward. I'd rather do that again. Okay? I went to visit a friend of mine, a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. He came home 9 months before I did. I come home, I call his wife, say, where's Tom? She says, at Ben Top Hospital in Houston, Texas. He'd been home 9 months already. Okay, he got burnt real bad in a helicopter crash. He'd been home 9 months. I said, well, I'm going through Hobby Airport. I'll stop and spend a couple of days, see how he's doing. She said, I think he'd like that. I go to the burn ward in the hospital. There's 2 sets of doors in the burn ward. And the outer set of doors, you go into that anteroom, as they call it. The nurses scrub you up, gown you up to cover everything they can to keep germs out of the burn ward. Okay, that's their job. That 45 minutes, I enjoyed. I got 2 good-looking nurses scrubbing up on me, feeling up on me, gowning me up. I enjoyed that 45 minutes. I still remember it. They were that pretty. Okay? I hadn't been around females for about 5 months in combat. I enjoyed that time. They didn't warn me about anything. The inner doors are soundproof. The entire ward, top, bottom, sides, and ends, is soundproof. You know why that is? The screaming and the pain. Okay? Have you ever locked your truck up in 100-degree temperature and forget to crack a window or roll something down? Come back out there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, how hot is that truck? How do you find out it's hot? It hits you in the face, doesn't it? Okay? I opened the inner set of doors up. The pain hit me like the heat out of your truck. I've seen a bunch of crap in combat. I thought, this can't be nothing. It was something. It was totally different than what I'd experienced out there in the field. She says in the 7th bed on the left side of the ward. I can tell you all but the 4th bed on the right side had someone in the bed. That was the only empty bed on the ward. I can tell you who was in the bed, whether it was male, female, young, old, child, infant, what it was, what kind of burns they had, what they were screaming, and the smell of burnt flesh. How long ago was 1975? How long ago was that?
42.
I became an old man, didn't I? Okay. I still had that dream about every 9 to 120 days somewhere. I had that dream of walking down that ward to his bed. In the dream, I know I've already done it. In the dream, I know it was a long time ago. But in the dream, I'm walking that walk. I still see the people. I still hear what they're screaming. I still see the burns they have. And I still smell the burnt flesh in my dream. It doesn't go away. It goes back in the back for a little while. Goes back to the file cabinet once in a while, so to speak. But every once in a while, it comes back up. Okay. It's not a nightmare. It's not a daymare. It's not really a bad dream necessarily, because I know I've already done it. But it doesn't go away. Okay. Some things are better not seen, smelled, or heard. That's one of them. Okay. If you can, if it's not your immediate family, your children, your mom, your dad, your wife, someone else, your brothers and sisters, It's immediate family, you got no choice, you got to go. Okay? Otherwise, beg, borrow, chill, steal, wreck your truck, go rob a bank. Don't go to a burn ward unless you have no choice. You don't want to see it, you don't want to smell it, you don't want to see what's going on. Okay? I don't want to see some of my friends in that condition either. Honestly. Okay? Accurate enough?
Yes, sir.
Don't want to do it again. Okay? Under any conditions. I've done it twice. That was 2 times more than I wanted to do it. For people in an arc flash event situation, the main problem they have is their clothes catching on fire. Guess why that is? Either not being worn properly, not being worn at all, being contaminated, being compromised one way or another, being washed improperly, or wearing something either underneath or externally that's not FR rated. What kind of underwear are you supposed to wear? What kind of cotton?
100% cotton.
They have another term with it also. 100% natural cotton, isn't it? I challenge you to find natural 100% cotton out here anywhere. Natural means not bleached, not treated, not dyed in any way. Normal white cotton underwear is treated and bleached. Okay? Hard to find 100% cotton underwear. Very hard to find it. However, regular cotton is better than nothing, right? Why cotton, do you know? What do they tell you, cotton? It doesn't melt, doesn't adhere to the skin. It will flame up. However, it's easy to extinguish. You can pat it out, it will extinguish. And tends to disintegrate and fall away from the skin. Other than your waistband, which you're going to leave a ring around your waist. Other than that, you should not be life-threatening, should it? My job is not to check your underwear today, okay? That's outside my scope. However, pay attention to what you're putting your body out in the field out here. It could be important to you sometime. Number one way to protect you out here. Number one, shut it down. If you don't want to shut it down or can't shut it down, follow procedures. Follow what you're supposed to be doing out here. The time it takes you to put PP on is paid time, is it not? The time to check it out is also paid time. The time to take it off and put it away is paid time. Compared to most time we have, is a pretty easy time. I say take advantage of them. Don't take all day doing it. Take advantage of the time. Okay? You might go home every night. I've got 4 categories of clothing. HRC 1, HRC 2, your shirt and jeans, HRC 3, and HRC 40 calorie gear. HRC 1, on the label will say 4 calories minimum. Most of them are 6 calories on average right now. HRC 2 must be at least 8 calories minimum. Calories translates into burns. 1.2 calories equals a second-degree burn. That's where they get the calories from. Okay? HRC 3, 25 calories, and finally HRC 40 calories. The guy I saw tapped on the shoulder 6 days ago was wearing what I call the space suit. Full 40 calorie gear, hood and all. You think that man could have seen that? Kind of obvious. I saw it from the highway about 200 yards away. I could see him wearing that gear. Okay. If you're right there, you think you can see that? I've been convinced lately the oil field has a new position. You know what it's called? IDIOT. I think they're hiring for it anymore. Okay. We're in the boom again, right? How quickly are we hiring people? How qualified are the people we're hiring sometimes? When do you find out? Do not trust anyone at all. My granddad and dad were electricians. My brothers and sisters, cousins, uncles were all electricians. They all told me the same thing when I was a kid. Don't trust anyone, including family. You do your own work. You make sure it's turned off yourself. You verify it yourself. You don't trust anyone else to do any of that for you. Okay? It's true. I don't care if he's your best friend. Don't trust him, particularly locking out and tagging out things and turning stuff off for you. You verify it yourself. You know what FR means?
Fire retardant.
One of 2 things, either flame resistant or fire retardant. They're not exactly the same thing. Fire retardant means it should not ignite easily exposed to an exposed flame. Flame resistant means it should be extinguished easily, should ignite up. Okay? Do you ever buy your own arc-rated clothing? Jackets, hard hat liners, anything like that?
No.
Usually what the company provided to me, I didn't like. They were kind of cheap on me. I didn't like being quite so cheap on my jackets and things like that. Okay, that's being honest. All right. I bought my own jackets. I bought my own hard hat liners, cold weather hoods, and things like that in the field. Okay. Anything you buy arc rated wise on your own must meet company requirements. If minimum level is HRC2, it must be HRC2 or 8 calories minimum protection. Anything you buy and wear on the job must be that way. Okay. Read labels on stuff. Be real careful what you buy out here. I've got a hazard. Ideally, I want to get rid of it, right? If you can't eliminate it, substitute. Find a different way to do something. Change what you're doing. Change parameters and procedures for what you're doing. Change the sequence of tasks if you need to. You at lower level hazard check versus higher level. I had a guy the other day in his cabinet in an MCC room, opening 4160 doors up to see what's inside the doors. Doing what I call a look-see. How smart is that? Real stupid. Okay? You're assuming all the cover plates and all that are screwed to the doors. They're not loose anywhere. Can't fall across the bus when you open doors up. 3 of them. He opened up like that, sprung like this. He had to wiggle them to get them open. That wiggling will kick plates off sometimes on the bottom of them. It goes that far back into the bus sometimes. Don't just do a look-see for things. Okay? If you don't need to be into it, don't be into it. You know what engineering controls are? What are engineering controls? Do you know? My phase divider between fuses are engineering controls. My line side guard, that shield up here, is an engineering control. The door interlock, where you can't open it with the switch turned on without bypassing it, is an engineering control. The door itself is an engineering control. Okay? If any of those are not working, what kind of condition is my equipment in? What's my equipment condition? Poor? Why are you saying operable?
It's been compromised.
Okay. It's considered by code defective. By the rules, by all the standards, it's considered defective. Any of that's not working. Let's say I've got a clear shield around a breaker. It's just contact protection, right? What if that clear shield is broken or missing? Should I turn the switch on? Can I turn the switch on?
Yes.
It'll still work, won't it? Am I allowed to turn the switch on?
No.
No. Why do we do it?
Laziness.
Because it's not going to happen to me.
Well, usually they want that thing up and operating, don't they?
Yeah.
Get it done.
To get a clear barrier or shield like that breaker barrier will take me 4 to 6 weeks right now. If I order today, it'll take 4 to 6 weeks to get one in. Do you think they'll let you lock it out and tag it out for 6 weeks till you get one in place? So what do you do?
Replace it.
You can't replace it if you ain't got one. When you're out in the field doing troubleshooting, are you there to do maintenance or are you there to make it work? Difference in the two, isn't there?
Yep.
Maintenance will be replacing that shield or locking it out until I can replace the shield. They want us to do that, will they? I had an Encana company man about 3 years ago. I was out in the field with the guy in the location. Last guy I'm doing hands-on with him. Company man pulls up and said, when you leave, be sure to turn it back on. I was going to say, man, this is so dangerous. It's dangerous for the cows out here, much less people. You should not turn it back on. You should fix the problem, lock it out till you fix the problem. He looked at the guy with me. His employee said, when you leave, you'll turn it back on. The guy said, yes, sir. I said, now I got a problem. State of Texas says, since I hold a master's license in the state of Texas, if I see it, I'm now liable for it and responsible for it. I know it should be turned on, don't I? Now I got a legal problem. I said, hang on just a minute. Walk over to my truck, get a lockout out of my truck, my lockout from my company, walk back over, lock his cabinet out, put the key in my pocket. Right in front of the company man. He says, you take your damn lock off my cabinet. I said, I refuse. I flat refuse and take it off. It is that dangerous, I refuse. He said, I'll cut it off. I said, go get your cutters. While he's gone, I can picture my lock on the cabinet, get a GPS coordinate for the lock system. I got a video running. The whole time he cuts my lock off, I got him on video cutting my lock off. Should he do that?
No.
Now who's liable for the situation on the cabinet?
He is.
And I've got video record of it. I got proof. I did what I was supposed to do. I'm clear. They can't do anything to me. Okay? What can they do to him, though?
Take it, can they give him a ticket?
Oh, in prison. I saw him about a month later. I didn't say nothing. It's not my problem anymore. That is their location. It belongs to them. I saw him in town about a month later, said, I want you to see something. I played the video on my phone for him. He says, you took a video? I said, yeah, of course I did. It's legal? You can't do nothing about it? I said, do you have any idea what I could do with that video? With you and your company? You have any idea what that could cost you? I said, I'm not into that. That's not my game. I don't play games like that. I said, do you have any idea what it could cost him? Let's start at $1 million and go up from there. I guarantee you. And his job, that quick. He said, I didn't know you did that. I said, you cut my lock off. I said, you're lucky I'm not the other way. You're lucky I'm not a complete asshole with you. Otherwise, I could retire off that video. I said, do not cut locks off stuff. That's a very stupid thing to do, isn't it? Let's say I didn't lock it out. I knew about it. It got turned back on, and Jose went out the next day and got killed in the cabin. Whose fault would it be?
Yours.
Why mine?
It didn't matter.
You knew it.
And I knew it should be turned on, didn't I? I can go to prison for that. You can go to prison in Texas for manslaughter and negligent homicide. I can go to prison for second-degree murder. They consider not locking it out an intentional act on my part. Okay? You think I'm not going to lock it out? Guess when I built that trailer out there? If I don't see it, I ain't liable for it, am I? That's why I built that trailer. Okay? I ain't got to see all these problems out in the field. I already know they're there. You got to deal with them. Okay? So what you going to do? Turn the cabinet on or leave it off? You probably can't do that in reality. Let's get back in the real world for a minute here. They probably won't let you keep your job and leave it off, will they? That's yours. I can't help you on that one out the field.
Well, but that's the point of being a journeyman or apprentice. That's why they're not masters.
It is, but then again, that German liable for it also.
A journeyman can always legally fall back on, I was told to do this.
Right, but then that
Yes, sir.
negate your responsibility.
However,
It does because your company has a master that they work under.
If-
that master is basically
you're
telling
right.
you can do it.
if he made the master aware of that situation.
Yeah.
If he did not make the master aware of the situation, get authorization from the master to turn it on anyway, then the German's liable for it. He can't be held liable for it. So he can't use that master unless that master is aware of the situation and says turn it on anyway. Then it's on the master.
Okay, so if Jose's a journeyman, he goes out and he does something that he knows isn't safe, but the company man tells him to do it. I'm sitting in my office because it's my master's license that he's working under.
Yes, sir.
I'm not responsible for it.
Not unless you're made aware of that situation particularly. Overall, you are. In a general sense, you are. As far as him being trained and knowing his hazard, not doing that. But his decision to turn it on or not at that company man's request and not notifying you is on him.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep. Unfortunately. For him.
I'm going through stuff like that right now because I want to know what I'm responsible for. I mean, I've got
Overall, everything.
90 people under me.
Yes, sir. Overall, everything.
And I can't visually see each one of them every day.
And they don't expect that.
Okay.
You know, that's like if he called you and said, hey, here's the situation of the equipment. Here's what they want me to do. What do you want me to do? And you say, do what he says to do, turn it back on. Then, at that point, you're definitely liable for it. Otherwise, just in a general sense.
Okay, so nobody called it.
But then again, if you walk up on the job site, if you walk up on the job site and see that situation yourself, now you're liable for it. By any means. Yes, sir. Yeah. How's it going?
Good.
I've got about an hour to wrap up what I need to wrap up here. You want to take a break? Keep it to a short 10. You did good a while ago. Take a short break.
I already valued this conversation, and I already had for permission.
Here you go.
Time for lunch. No, great. Oh man.
It's bad enough to all the legalities, isn't it?
Oh, is that?
Bad enough to all the legal stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Step outside and call my buddy, make sure you make it.
What's up, Woody? Right here.
I don't know. Not the one that you're one, but I had some wrong. You go on the freaks that out here, but it's toilet water. What's the matter? Someone had to hang up or something. It's a computer line, just put it in. Just let it go, huh? Let it put a call block. It's easier, just let it go. I don't want you to talk to them, let them call block. Dirt bag? Come gas on. You know you're hard. You're just a poser, bro.
I ain't riding that motherfucking rain, I promise.
I wouldn't ride it in these two cities. Father. Shit. Motorcycles getting riders getting whacked out here all the time. Shoot, no. They don't. Yeah. Especially the drummers like you. Shit. I'm serious. You know, my first week I was here in '95, I got off of those off-ramps, right? And this motorcycle in front of me, it's been getting off the same moment. And sure enough, he's getting off this car stall and asked where it says yield. Hit that sucker like a baseball. I said, you know what? I want to ride a motorcycle here. I take it out and
Anywhere, I'm riding it. I
take it over to Greenwood, maybe. No traffic on Sunday morning or something.
Ain't nobody in this summer school out there on the deal.
You know, you don't see people riding bikes, 10 speed, 20 speed bikes. You don't see them out. They're smart. They know what it's like here. Nobody.
There's one over in my neighborhood. He rides his all the time. He carries a bag and he rides past pickups. There's beds on them, open bed. And he glances over around and he grabs shit out and goes in his bag. He rides his bike.
That's great. When you get some flat bed, he's carrying big stuff. I mean, you gotta look. Where's the little stuff?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up this. Come on, I'm gonna pick up this trencher. I'm gonna pick up this backhoe. Put it in my bag.
Isn't he new here? How long you work here?
About 30 days. Me?
Yeah.
I worked here for like 4 years before, but
So you knew Ron from before then?
yeah.
So you knew he was
I
the
knew
guy
he
before
was,
you got
yeah.
That's
He started like a week after I did.
So you had a lot of chance to understand.
I didn't buy the motorcycle.
Dude, there's guys that just started last week. They're saying the same thing.
Again, I didn't buy the motorcycle.
Why does he keep talking bad about you buying a motorcycle?
That's the only thing
I think he's jealous.
I think so.
Well, Lynn was the one that mentioned about the vacuum and the motorcycle. What's coming? They both have dirt bags.
Right.
There you go.
And you know what's worse than being a dirt bag? He wants to be a pretend dirtbag. He's a poser. He's
Right, I'm not even real.
not even a real dirtbag.
All right, give him a little while. It'll grow on him.
He looks like the kind of thing a good dirtbag.
Since we're on a break, I can say that. When we're off break, I can't say it. It's all you guys rubbing your head going to sleep back there.
I'm like, no trauma happened.
Hey, look.
You know, I don't know why they buy chairs with that cheap leatherette cover on them. That always happens. I've been here 6 years doing training with them off and on. That always happens to the chairs. Eventually got to replace them. Why not buy better chairs to start with? Or give you plastic chairs like that. That's my vote, is them old cheap plastic chairs.
Give me one of those, please.
Wait, you got some 70s? I'll get some. That's what I have. I'll order a
Bring next.
Didn't say nothing.
He brings his own.
Did I give you a new button?
Yes. I'm holding on to it. I know you.
Sorry, I got that on my name.
Y'all doing good on breaks.
We don't get very many of them.
Really? Right. Usually, that makes you take longer ones when you get one.
That's more like lunchtime, isn't it?
Did y'all know that in the state of Texas, the mid-morning break and mid-afternoon breaks aren't required by state law? Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a courtesy, honestly.
Yeah.
I've got to give you 30 minutes for lunch, but I ain't got to give you a mid-morning break, mid-afternoon break. That's a courtesy.
How long is lunch today?
Depends on y'all. But if there's no one here, I'll leave location. I'm gone. So at the point I run out of people, I'll leave. We'll discuss that in a few minutes, how we kind of lunch and stuff. Okay. Welcome back. I mentioned engineering controls about before the break. Administrative controls are all your procedures, your written documentation procedures, things like that. How many step-by-step procedures do you have for the work you do? How many have you seen? How detailed are they? If I were to write procedures for every combination of equipment, every combination of installations out here, you know how thick that book would be? Yeah, somewhere up here. How easy would that be to use? It'd take you a week to find out which procedure to use to turn something on. Okay, that's kind of unrealistic, isn't it? They can do it, but you couldn't use it. It'd be unusable. Okay. What they do is they write procedures in a general sense, don't they? Who fills the details in?
You do.
You gotta doing the work. Have you ever heard the term "the devil's in the details"? You've heard that term?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? It is. You're the one making choices then, aren't you? Okay. It is all on you. Last thing in line here is my PPE. All these classes teach your last line of defense, don't they? Everywhere I go, I hear PPE's last line of defense. Let me tell you how critical that is. What that means is this. I can't eliminate it. It must be powered up. It must be on. There's no way to eliminate it. I can't substitute for it. My engineering controls have all failed to do their job. All of my procedures I'm using have failed to do their job. All these other items have already failed. How critical is your PPE in that case? That's what they mean by a last line of defense. They just don't tell you that clearly sometimes. That PPE must be ready to go, in good shape, worn and used properly, mustn't it? That's what they mean by last line of defense. You have gloves? Medical gloves?
Yes.
What class do you carry? What color is your tag on your cuff? I've only got 6 colors. Got tan, red, white, green, orange, yellow. Only got 6 colors. Are they yellow? If they're yellow, they're 17,000 volts. Class 2. I've got the tan tag here, class 0, double 0, rated for 500 volts, protected 2500 volts, rated for 500 volts AC only. Okay. Don't recommend those at 500 volts or 480 volts. Too close. Okay. Tap a transformer a little bit warm, you're 525 to 540 out here. That's above the glove rating. Okay. Class 0, the red tag, rated for 1000 volts. My white tag, class 1, 7500 volts. Yellow tag, class 2, 17,000 volts. Green tag or class 3, 26.5, and the orange tag, class 4, 36,000 volts. Once you get above 36,000 volts, there's no glove protection to get that level. And guess how they work at above 36,000 volts?
Very careful.
Either live line tools or barehanded. You become the bird on the wire in that case. Okay? Don't touch another phase, don't touch the ground somewhere, you're fairly safe. Fairly safe. Okay. Policy should be sent out for testing, do you know?
Every 6 months.
Got to be sent out every 6 months. Once you issue the glove, it's got to be sent out every 6 months after it's been issued the first time. Okay? When they're manufactured, the manufacturer does a certification test on the manufacturer date and time. They can sit on a shelf after the manufacturer date for 1 year before they're sent out for testing or issued. Once they're issued, they're on a 6 month cycle. What's the date on your gloves? You know? What's your glove date?
5. That's 417.
Like that's a month.
Okay. When you go out and trade it with me, if you have your own equipment with you, I prefer you to bring yours in and use your PP and stuff. If you don't, I'll provide what you need. If you got your own, I prefer to use your own things you're familiar with. Okay. If your gloves are out of date, we'll tell you can't use your gloves. You have to use a pair of our gloves. Okay. You can't use out of date gloves out here either. Something a lot of guys don't know about gloves. The rubber glove cuff right here must always extend past the leather gauntlet cuff. For 00 and 0, I need a 1/2 inch minimum. For class 1, 1 inch. Class 2, I need 2 inches. Class 3 needs 3 inches, and class 4 needs 4 inches minimum. I go further, but not less than that. I can never have the rubber cuff right here inside the leather cuff. You know why they don't want that to occur? Why not? Okay? If I move my hands around with the gloves on, that leather cuff will pucker up and move around a lot, won't it? If you catch your hand on something coming out of a cabinet that's energized, what part are you likely to catch on that component of that part? The leather. In that case, I got protection down below the leather. Okay? You know why? You know what a pinhole is in a glove? How critical is a pinhole?
Very.
You check for pinholes, right?
Yes.
Let's say I've got a pinhole at the top of my cuff, right by the roll. Why doesn't the voltage find my hand here if I don't have a pinhole there? Why doesn't it jump across to my arm?
Because it's going right through it.
I had a guy come to class 2 weeks ago in class, had cut that roll off the glove, cut the tag off and all. I said, why would you take scissors to your gloves? He said, we're chafing his elbow right here. They're so long as making a swirl mark. When you use them, rubbing a swirl mark on his arm. We cut them off. Okay. That roll at the end of the cuff, make sure the voltage can't jump across your arm. If you take the roll off, it can jump right through your arm and find your arm that quick. Okay. It reacts to the current. A few things to do and a few things not to do. Number 1, follow the rules. You agree to do that, right? You signed the form, right? You're taking the money for it, correct? How about do what you're getting paid to do? My main gripe in the area right now is people not doing their job they're paid to do. Can't get a hamburger done right the first time around, can you? Try it sometime. Go to a fast food joint, get your order done right the first time. I challenge you. Okay? They're getting paid to do it though, aren't they? They're not doing it. Just do your job, do what you're getting paid to do. Okay? Inspect your equipment. Gloves, that's what PPE, whatever it may be, whatever you're using out here in the field. Look it over before you put it on and put it to work. Make sure it's in good repair. Know how to check your gloves out. Go check on them every day before you use them. Put them in a protected bag. Don't fold them over and put them in a short bag. That destroys the rubber, breaks the rubber down on things. Okay? Don't put them in the dash of your truck out here. Don't put them by the heater vents behind your seat of your truck. That'll break them down also. Don't wear jewelry with your gloves either. My ring and watch come off when I'm doing electrical work. Okay? Any necklaces that are metal need to come off when you're doing electrical work out here also. If they're damaged somehow, don't use them anyway. Where do you check your gloves? Are you 100 miles out in the shop, or at the shop and you check your gloves over? If I'm 100 miles wearing their bag, what do I do?
Time.
If you were working for me and you came back in a 100-mile drive all the way out there and back to get another pair of gloves, I'd fire you on the spot. That's going to waste my time and money, isn't it? If you ain't got enough sense to check your gloves for there's spare gloves available to you, you ain't got enough sense to do the work. Check them out when they're close to you here. And don't fold them inside out. You ever clean them? You wash them up? You use glove dust in your gloves. I quit using glove dust 10 years ago. You know why I quit using glove dust? When I sweat, I hate that mushy feeling in the fingertips. I can't stand that mushy feeling in there. Okay? I got tired of cleaning the gloves up. To clean them, I got to turn them inside out, take soft soap, scrub them up, rinse them off, turn them right side out, let them air dry for a day. Can't use those gloves for at least 24 hours or so. Okay? Also, the liners give you cushioning for work. In cold weather, the glove gets real cold real quick, doesn't it? Make your hands hurt in a short period of time. I can work 4 times as long in cold weather with liners versus glove dust and just rubber. In the summertime, when you sweat, they don't stick to your hands. I can get them off easily. So a lot of reasons to use liners versus glove dust. Okay. If you use glove dust, you need to clean your gloves once in a while. Okay. Don't forget how to do it. If you get petroleum on the glove itself, on the rubber glove particularly, and you can't clean the stain out of it, don't use the glove. That reacts with natural rubber, it compromises the integrity of the rubber, and it will leak through the rubber on you. It becomes conductive at a certain point. Okay. If you get the stain out, don't use them. Have you been through lockout tagout? How long ago?
Last 1, 2 years.
Last week.
Let's go lockout tagout, right? Okay. When I'm doing lockout tagout, what am I doing? Exactly what am I doing for disconnect? What am I doing?
Isolating power.
Sir?
Isolating power.
I'm isolating the power. What else? What am I checking? For what reason?
See if it's got power running.
Okay, most things have a switch, right? Disconnect has a switch. So, bottom line, when I'm doing lockout tagout on a disconnect point, what am I checking?
Insurance the switch is working.
Okay. I make sure that switch is working properly. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I can see the blades usually, can I? Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you can see the blades, that does not mean it's not been compromised. When I built my small trailer, Larry and I both did hole saw cutouts for penetration in cabinets or conduit. He cut one. I've known the guy for 20 years. I know he knows to take his knockout, his cutout, out of the hole saw. I actually saw him pick a screwdriver up and saw him put it in and hurt it. I thought, well, he got his out. He hands me the drill. I'll drill my cabinet, my penetration over here. I catch mine. Mine falls out of the hole saw. I'm pretty sure he took his out, right? I mean, he knows to do that. Guess what I didn't see? The third one, he had made 2 of them. I only saw him do 1. He had made 2 earlier. He took 1 out, but didn't get the other one out. Didn't know it. When I shook mine out, the other one fell behind the disconnect switch. It landed on the middle phase, the B phase, behind the blade. When I powered the equipment up in the trailer, I'm checking voltage like I should have. So wait a minute, the switch is open, I got 480 on this phase. I'm wondering why I'm seeing all the blades, I'm getting 480 here. So I took it all apart, that little cutout, that hole saw cutout, was laying just like that, straight up and down, making contact across the contact points. Even though the blades are open. Okay? Do not just trust the blades. You do lockout, tag out to make sure, things like that, filings off cuttings, shavings off drilling holes and things, are back to compromising that switch. Okay? when you do lockout tag out, I must do 3 checks. Must make sure the meter's working properly to start with, somehow, somewhere on live voltage. If I've got an auto ranging meter, volts only, not Ranger volts, I go on the wall socket and check it. That's a good check. And that's in the standard this year also. Okay? Only for an auto ranging meter. For any other meter, I got to put the range I want to check and check up that voltage level. Very few of them anymore out in the field out here. Older meters only usually. Okay? When I make sure the meter's working, I open the switch up, go right below the switch point on top of the fuses, measure all 3 one at a time. Here's how I do that. I go in one at a time, A to B. I move one at a time, move B to C. I move A to B, and I come out just like that. I go in one at a time, I move one at a time, and I come out one at a time. Those 4 movements get all 3 phases 2 at a time. Why not come in 2 at a time and come out 2 at a time? Anybody know?
Create an arc.
If I've got an arc going between the fuse, my tips right here, say from fuse to tip, tip back to fuse, and I pull that way, what can happen?
Arc.
I can expand it. I can draw that arc to me, can't I? I can escalate that into an arc flash event. If you see arc between your probes for some reason, you're a little too close on the caps and fuses here, go in and pull one out. Break contact one at a time. That extinguishes the arc. You can't jump any further that way. Do not just jerk back. Okay? When I do that second check, on the top of the fuse below the switch point, I've got to go back one more time on, like, say, A and B, just one set of phases. Make sure I got the same reading I got the first time. So I'm working that range right here. The last reading is most critical. You know, why the last check is most critical for lockout tag out. It's not the 0 reading, it's the last reading. Why is that most critical? Anybody know? When you got gloves on your hands, how clumsy are you? If you turn that dial on your meter like this right here, the leather glove can easily bump a button on the face of the meter, can't it? It can bump a whole button or a range button. It can knock off your reading, can't it? In that case, I'm not sure of the 0 reading. Don't make any changes on dials and button settings when you start lockout tag out. Also, if I bump the whole button on the side of the meter sometimes holding it, that lets me know, doesn't it? If I don't get the same reading the last time I got the first time or close to it, I don't have a good lockout tag out. In that case, you start over again. Okay? If you get, say, 460, what you got the first time, that says the switch is working properly, and that power is disconnected down here at that point down the stream. I've got a good lockout tag out. All 3 must be done. I can do more. I can go face the ground, face the ball of the fuse if I want to after that, but those 3 have to be done minimum. When you've done that, you put your lock and tag on. Okay. That proves the switch is working properly. How many keys can you lock out? How many are allowed?
6. One for each person.
Sir?
As many people that there is on location.
To that one lock.
No, one person, one lock.
Each lock has to have its own key. I'd have one lock per person. And each person can have their own key to their lock. But I can't have more than one key to one lock in the field on location. Okay? I've got a lock in my truck that's got 14 keys to it. They're locked up in the back of my truck in a toolbox, and another box locked up in a toolbox. All those keys are right here. Are those 14 keys legal?
Yes.
What do you think?
You know,
Yay or nay?
Not for you, because you have something.
But I've only got one lockout key. That's it right there. There are 14 duplicates to that key.
14 duplicates to the key.
Of this key.
14 locks that are
14
locked to
duplicates to that key.
No,
They're all in your
you
possession.
can't have that.
Well, he's saying no, and you're saying in my possession. What's the difference?
Well, you're not working right next to your
Nobody
truck
else is
whenever
not.
you're doing that. Somebody else could get in your truck and get one of those keys.
How are they going to get them? They could do it. It is possible to do so. I've got a cover on the back of that truck. You got to open the tailgate somehow to get that cover open, unless you cut it open. Okay? That tailgate's electric tailgate lock. That controls right here. The toolbox they're locked up in is a key right here on this key ring. And the box they're locked up in is the key here also. So without cutting all the locks or getting into it forcefully somehow, how you go get those keys?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't prevent you breaking windows out and doing things like that. I can't prevent you cutting that lock off either, can I?
That's true.
So, as long as these keys are in my possession, the rest are. If I want 100 keys in that condition, I have 100 keys to that lock. Okay? What I can't do is this. Lay those down and go across the next building. Why not? Yeah, those aren't my possession, neither are the ones in that truck, are they? These must remain in my possession at all times for those to be legal. If ever those aren't, those are illegal. Okay? We're doing a live lockout tagout in that trailer today. The rules are the same in that trailer as out in the field for you. There's no exception for training. It's live voltage, it's a live lockout tagout. All rules apply to the situation. I don't get an exception because I'm an instructor in this training situation. Okay. Who are tags for?
Information for other people.
Okay, do I need a tag?
Yes.
Company say put a tag on, right? I put my tag and lock on Monday. You go through Friday, my lock's there, the tag's gone. Does the lock on the switch point tell you enough to leave it alone?
Yes.
In that case, do we need a tag necessary for us? No. They save me time. I know who put it on, when they put it on, a way to contact them, using what's going on, basically. Okay? They save me time. In that case, who are tags really and truly for? Everyone else. What's it trying to tell these other people? Leave it alone. In all kinds of wording, it's trying to say leave it alone, right? I'm serious, it's for everybody else. Well, I've got a control point for energy. There's a quick, fast, easy way to secure that control point anymore. Okay? I'm finding these breaker lockouts at Lowe's and Home Depot 4 or 5 at a time in a baggie on a pegboard. About $6 on average. Okay? They're not hard to find anymore. Okay? In my house, I lock out my breaker. You know why I do that in my house? Why? My wife knows how to turn breakers back on. Yep. I've had to try to do that one time on me. So she finds a lockout, she knows enough to leave it alone. She can't turn it on easily. Okay? What do you think? Show some pictures here if we wrap some of this stuff up this morning. See that ground rod over here? That was a brand new installation on a beam well. What's wrong? See the saw marks on top of it? See the teeth marks? Yeah. What does that tell you?
In there,
cut it off. I was the guy on location. I knew the electrician installed that, by the way. I said, can I kick it? He said, I wish you wouldn't. So guess what I did? I kicked it. Got that deep in the cleaching.
Oh, wow.
Here's the problem. I've done that more than once out here. I've kicked several of them over. Some of them a couple feet in the cleaching. That's all it is. How deep should a ground rod be?
8 feet.
At least.
At least 8 feet. I could get below moisture level out in the field out here before I get any kind of good ground. What kind of ground do you have here? You don't have one. There's no ground there. If my cabinet becomes energized somehow, and that ground rod's in place, and I walk up and touch that cabinet, what's going to happen?
Hopefully not.
That kind of ground rod there?
With that kind of ground rod.
You wasn't even through the cleaching. You didn't even get through the cleaching out here, which is very high resistance, by the way. So if I touch that cabinet in that condition, what's going to happen? Now the ground path, aren't I? Okay. The ground system in the field is your protection and stabilized voltage levels. Should anything energize that cabinet accidentally on you, that should be a way to trip that circuit out that's energizing that cabinet. Without good grounding, it won't do that. Okay. It's not going to happen. What do you think about my fuse? I pulled 3 of those out of a cabinet several years ago, out here. Took a lot of time to flatten them out and put them in place, even take the middle of them up. I cannot find the clearing time on half-inch copper tube. No one can tell me when it'll trip. Okay. I'm going to put blades in place. That's what they were. Okay. What do you know about a control transformer? What do you know about it? This is a 4-to-1 step-down transformer. 480 coming in the top, 120 coming out the bottom, right? Common situation in the field. What if I reverse the wiring and I put 480 down here? What's happening?
Then you got 4812 coming out the top.
Sir?
You got 1200 volts coming out the top.
Actually, 4 times 4 would be 1920.
Yeah.
Where's your first check on the control transformer in the field when you're doing troubleshooting? Where's your safest first check going to be? No, sir. If I've got that situation, I got a lot of pan doing the cabinet here. We can't see what's wiring where. It's all hidden inside the pan doing. Okay, the trough. If I can't see what's here, my safest check is right here. If I read less than 250 volts right here, I take that meter and go on top. If I've got 1920 from at the top, I go on the line side there, 40 volt side here, with the 1,000 volt reading meter, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you just blow your meter up. Okay? I've had that 4 times in 2 years out here, where it's wired backwards. The problem they had was the little control relay they had in the cabinet is popping that control wire. Little coil wire inside the relay is popping that one little small hairline wire. It was not burning stuff up. Okay?
Well, hopefully you're going to check the wire to see where the wire's wired.
But sometimes you can't see it all. Let's see, with a lot of pan doing in the cabinet where it's going everywhere, and all your wiring is hidden inside the trough, you can't see sometimes what it is. I've had people take these white and black wires here and wiring up them inside the pan do it, where it looks like low voltage wiring coming off the lines the other side of it. Do not trust these idiots. And there's a bunch of them out here, I'm serious. Okay? This is a 4-to-1 step down normally. Going this way up, it's a 4-to-1 step up. If I put 40 volts in there, I get 400 volts out the other side of it. Okay? Be aware of that situation too. The shirt and jeans you wear in the field are based upon studies they've done, based upon these kind of fuses in the cabinet. It's called low current, low peak fuses. Read labels on fuses and things in the field. If I take one fuse out and put a regular fuse in place for it, the rest of them are discounted. They will do you no good. Okay? You know why they want low current, low peak fuses in the cabinet? Why do you want them there? You know why? Think of these low peak fuses right here as a black cat in your open hand and a regular fuse like a stick of dynamite in your open hand. What's going to happen if I set that black cat off over here?
It's just going to blow up.
It's going to make me burn my hand a little bit, right? Stick of dynamite, what's going to happen?
Lose your hand.
Blow my hand off with my arm, probably. Okay? You want to see low current, low peak fuse in the cabinet. They trip real quick. Don't the energy level build up? You're the black cat. That's what you want to see. In that case, you're sure to be enough for you. Here's something else. You're waiting about that one. That was in Mississippi about a year and a half ago now.
Could have done out here.
An engineer. A lot of engineers and HSC people hire me to do training. An engineer picked that location for training that day for me. So I want you to go to this location. He handpicked that location. I got out there, opened cabinet doors up, called him back to a picture, sent him to him, and said, "Man, leave this location as it is. Everything I talked about in training that was bad is right there in that cabinet. Everything I mentioned." Okay? Look at all this. See these wires coming off the line side right here? They're going down here, feeding both these control transformers. Turn the switch off, they're still energized. All my controls are still energized. Okay?
Yeah.
See my fuses right here? See these? Give you a better picture of them. This is my fuses. 260s and a 70 in phase C. I've got 3 blown fuses in the ground, stumped in the ground behind the cabinet. They're all 70 amp fuses. In the bottom of the cabinet, back over here, is a new 70 amp fuse and a new 5 amp control fuse. What's going on? What's happening right now? What's going on?
It keeps blowing the fuse.
From an electrical standpoint, what's happening? I've got a problem in phase C, don't I? And they're not fixing the problem, are they? And they expect it to blow again, don't they? In addition, I got 5 amp control fuse in the bottom of the cabinet. See my little control fuse right here? I've got a brand new control fuse waiting also. What's going on there? I've got a control circuit problem too, don't I? Okay. What kind of condition is that equipment in right now? Should I turn it back on?
No.
Not at all. Okay. Everything I talk about in training was in that one cabinet. Best I could have got for training purposes. Okay. In this case, it looks like spaghetti, but at least you can see all the wiring, can't you? Sometimes it's not that way. Sometimes you can't see it all. And sometimes inside behind those covers, people do some weird stuff. You can't trust other people out here. Okay. They define normal equipment operation. I mentioned this morning as being 6 things. Number 1, it's installed correctly and properly to start with. Number 2, maintenance is done by the manufacturer recommendation. NFPA said to be local standard maintenance out here. For a disconnect switch on a pole, minimum maintenance between 90 and 120 days, I'll go back to that switch, I'll turn the switch off, open the doors up, lubricate both sides of my blades, cycle them 10 times by manufacturer requirements in and out of the chute, distribute grease on the chutes, and I'll retorque all my connections. Besides doing a visual check on guards and things like that. That's minimal maintenance. When is that ever done?
Never.
Not one time, hardly, is it? They used to come to us ungreased. Guess what? Why they come to us greased anymore?
Nobody did.
We never did it. I've got about 900 packs of little lithium white grease. Excellent gun grease, by the way. High dollar, excellent gun grease. Doesn't leave a film, slick as it can be. Real nice. What do you think? I got about 900. I had 1,000 or so when I started. Just like about 900 of them left. I found them in the trash can. No one used them. Number 3, all my doors are closed and secured. Latched down or screwed down. All my covers are in place and secured. No evidence of impending failure of any kind. No burn marks in the cabinet. No smoke marks out the openings. No blown lightning arresters. No smell of burning installation of plastic in the atmosphere. And no bacon frying noise in the cabinet. No evidence of impending failure coming up on me. And it's used what's designed to be used for, what's designed to be used for. If those 6 things are in place, it's considered normal operation. How much equipment in the oil field is normally operating right now?
If it's brand new.
And how long is that going to last? Once you reach 90 days on brand new equipment, they haven't done maintenance on it. If it's working, don't mess with it, right?
What about rust and holes in the cabinet?
Same problems. They'll degrade it and deteriorate it even worse. When does the oil field replace equipment in the field? When do they do that? I've got a cat that's got 5 fire rings in it. They cleaned it up 5 times. It burned up and blew up 5 times in a row. They finally gave it to me in class for a bad example of a cabinet. You know why? They couldn't make it work anymore. When you can't make it work anymore, then they'll replace it. In the meantime, what's your job? Make it work. Don't get killed doing it. My safe work practices. Number 1, shut the power down. If you don't need it, turn it off. When you need it, turn it on, get your readings, turn it back off when you get done with it. Know where and what your hazards are out in the field out here. There's a wireman a while back, and the guy said, beware of the mountain lions. Just me and him in the field out here. No cows, nobody else. I said, what mountain lions? He said, that one. About 20 feet away from the tree. They go ahead looking around that tree for us. I said, got a question for you. How long has that cat been there? He said, about 20 minutes. I said, you idiot. What's normal cat operation? What do cats do before they pounce?
Stop.
Whether it's your small cat, a lion or a leopard or a mountain lion, what do they do before they pounce on something?
The stalking.
They stalk. How do they stalk?
Watch you.
They watch. Forever. Why is that cat watching me and him? The only thing that's moving out in the field out here. Why is that cat 20 feet away, not moving for 20 minutes watching us? What's he doing?
He's hungry.
Licking his chops.
He's trying to figure out which one he can take down, isn't he? Which one's weaker? I'm 60 years old. The guy with me is 25 roughly. Who can run faster? Me. I'm tripping his ass. All I gotta do is outrun him. Okay? I'll come back after the line once the line's telling him. But after that, I'm tripping his ass. Okay? When locations change, some of you have to change also. Okay? They're not all electrical. Pay attention to all of them. You'll have to lock out and tag out the equipment. Whether you're doing the lockout, tag out or not, know how to recognize when it's been done correctly. Make sure you know it's been done correctly if you're not the one doing it. Wear the PPE. It's pay time, right? Take advantage of it. Wear the PPE. Before you start working the equipment out here in the field, get some kind of plan in place what you're going to do, how you're going to do the sequence, what you're going to do about it, okay? Also, get a plan in place for in case something goes wrong. What you're going to do. Do you have a cell signal on location? Are you sure you got a cell signal out there? If you need to call for help, can you call for help? I was at JW Power Line 12 miles out Seminole a while back doing bucket rescue training with them. I can walk 20 feet in the yard from the bucket truck we're doing training to my truck and lose cell signal in their yard 12 miles out of Seminole. Make sure you got a cell signal on location. Make sure you know you got somewhere to call for help if you need to. If you're unsure of things, stop and ask questions. get answers to the questions before you proceed if you're not sure what you're doing out here. On live equipment or test equipment of any kind, only qualified people. What makes you qualified? What kind of knowledge? Equipment specific knowledge, isn't it? What about what can be energized? What the voltage level is? What your approach boundaries are? Okay. You know those at a minimum. For lockout tag out, I described the 3 checks before you go. Line inside another voltage source, verify your meter. Check right below the fuse on top of the fuses first. Make sure it's 0 or millivolts. Go back and verify your meter operation. You must do all 3 checks for lockout tag out. If you skip any of those, you've not done lockout tag out. Maintain your power line clearances, minimum of 10 feet, no less than that for any point in time. Make sure you can see where you're putting your hands. If you can't see where you put your hands, I don't put them there. You may come out missing a hand sometime out here. Okay? Whatever I'm using, look it over. Make sure it's in good repair, ready to be used, not been damaged since last time you used it out here. Your hard hat should be an E-rated hard hat. The E-rating means that outer shield rated for 20,000 volts, direct contact with energized lines. Okay? Make sure the hard hat you got in the field has that rating on it. I'm seeing Americana hard hats lately, where they've got them from overseas, DPL from Sri Lanka, that have an E rating in the brim, and the label says no direct contact with energized lines. That hard hat's not rated in the United States. Okay? If you see that, if it doesn't look right to you, find out why it doesn't look right. That caught my attention, found out later on it wasn't right. Use the right tool for the job and don't use synthetic clothing. These are not voltage rated. In case no one told you that before. Okay? They got a voltage tolerance around 600 volts. They're not voltage rated though. They won't help you any. Stay aware of your approach boundaries. If anyone comes into your boundaries while you work on the cabinet, what should you do? If you see them coming in, what should you do?
Stop immediately.
Stop what you're doing, close the doors up. Okay? What should you not do?
Leave it open, turn around.
Yeah, leave it open and
Don't leave it open. Don't get in an argument with them. It won't help you at all. Okay? What do they want? If they're bothering you out there in that situation, what do they want to know? That's all they want to know. Okay? I even tell them, hey, come up on location, bump your horn, I'll stop what I'm doing, walk over to your truck. They think I'm a nice guy. I'm being selfish. If he doesn't get out of the truck, how long is he going to be there?
Not long at all.
Not very long. Where do I want him to be?
It is not.
That direction, right? I'm helping him out. It's selfish. Okay. Try to avoid becoming complacent out in the field out here. The more times you do things, the more comfortable you get doing them, right? More times things don't go wrong, the more comfortable you get that way also. That's human nature. Once in a while, bring yourself back between the lines, so to speak, here. Okay? Realize it can and does happen occasionally. If something feels wrong, doesn't look right, stop and find out what it is. Opened the cabinet door several years ago, saw something move off the doors up. I've got a wire harness tied to the door. I said, well, the tension on the door opening, I've got a loose control wire. Got about 20 of them in the cabinet. Okay? I check all my control wires. None of them are loose. I keep thinking, what the heck did I see move off the door up? Get that little feeling. Something wasn't right. Okay? Something keeps nagging. Says, don't do this. Something's wrong here. Okay? So open the door all the way up on the hinge. I've got a back plane, a white back plane back here, about 1.5 inches off the back of the cabinet. It's not against the cabinet, it's off the cabinet. So I'm looking behind the back plane. I've got a mouse tail doing that number, hanging down. I'm thinking, that's not normal mouse operation. Watch a mouse sometime going across the room. When he runs, his tail moves. When he stops, the tail doesn't move. He doesn't wiggle his tail when he stops. Watch a mouse sometimes, okay? I'm wondering, why is the mouse tail quivering, but it ain't going nowhere? Caught my attention, okay? So I go by the switch side. I'm looking behind the switch here, behind the back plane. I got a snake up here, and a mouse like that, and the tail doing that number. He can't go nowhere. He's being ate by a snake, okay? My job that day was to get a voltage reading right up here. My hands would be above the back plane. The snake was about that far below the back plane. You think he could see my hands up here? Could I see him behind the back plane? Or he'd know I was there, but I wouldn't know he was there, huh? What's he likely to do?
What?
He'll spit the mouse out and strike at movement. My hands are up here. What's he going to strike at? Guess when I find out there's a snake in the cabinet. Seriously, pay attention to that feeling. You know what that feeling is? You know where it comes from? What is it? I hear it. Second sense, hunches, instincts, all kind of things out here. Gut feelings, okay? Literally, it is you talking to you. The worst thing you can do when you talk to yourself is ignore yourself. Seriously. If you get that feeling, back off, find out what's keying you. Maybe something like my snake, maybe nothing critical at all. But identify what it was you saw move, or what keyed you, before you continue on. Okay. Shoot a couple of videos to wrap stuff up here. You ever done that?
Try to look cool. Oh.
Electric fence? He's trying to look cool there, isn't he? You know? My granddad was a lineman when I was a kid. His favorite saying was, some days you're a buck, some days you're the windshield. I mean, some days a good day, some days ain't quite so good. Okay? I saw my next video, got my whole new saying. Some days you're a fisherman, some days you're the bait. I mean, some days are really bad.
To top up your omega-3 DHA, you could lead the life of the Inuit Eskimo. Their omega-3 rich diet has contributed
Ice fishing through a hole in the ice.
Healthy lives.
Got a bite. My definition of a bad day. I ain't fishing where I can't see what's below me. Ain't gonna happen. Okay? I've been told for years that animals have no sense of humor. I'll prove to you different. Watch this. Watch this penguin right here. Watch his leg. Watch this penguin here. Watch what they do. Tell me that wasn't intentional. Watch this penguin. Tell me he's not laughing his butt off right now. Okay? They got a sense of humor. We just don't know it. Okay? I'm developing a new idiot detector. What do you think?
Yeah.
Think that'll work?
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about putting that on a GoFundMe page, see if I can get a donation to start it. You know,
That'd be smart.
I thought I'd try it for funny, see what people think.
That'd be fun.
But that'd take care of them, wouldn't it? How'd the morning go for y'all?
Good.
This was a short version of my class. Like I said, it's supposed to be a refresher. I'm going to have Larry come up in a minute. We're going to take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes here. Go through PP refresher, how to put your hard hat on, how to wear a line and all that, the sock and everything real quick. About 11:30, somewhere right in there, we'll let people go for lunch if you want to go for lunch. I need 6 people minimum to remain behind, okay, when he gets done with his PP presentation for you. All right. While he's doing this part, I'll set my trailer up and get it ready to go. Okay, I need 6 people left behind. If you want to go to lunch, I need to make sure there's someone in line ready to go at all times. Okay, so y'all work that out between you. When I get done with you, get your hard hat sticker from me. I'll probably be in here most of the time or out there one. Find me, get your hard hat sticker. I'll also check for continuing education credit for you also. If you need continuing education credit, I'll have you fill the form out and sign the roster for that too, okay? When you come back in and find me, we'll check for all that. Make sure you don't leave without that also, okay? Any questions right now? Anything I can answer for you right now? I'm going to give you a short 10-minute break. If you got PP, hard hat, shield, gloves, meters, things like that, grab those, bring those back in the classroom with you on that break. If you don't have those, don't worry about it. We'll provide what you need. Okay? I'm going to change positions, put my equipment up, let him set his equipment up, okay? Take a short 10-minute break.